Clock in, D, it's time to go to work. I know I said at the beginning of this track, man, that we had like a top 10 or like a top 5. Hot boys gearing up to be triple D, you know what I'm saying? Clock Dallas Doomsday defense. Listen what the hot boys tell them, man. Put me in, coach. Yeah, we all hard hitters. Smell fresh meat. Yeah, we all eating. Put me in, coach. Yeah, we all hard hitters. Smell fresh meat. Yeah, we all eating. Put me in, coach. Yeah, we all hard hitters. Yeah, I smell fresh meat. Yeah, we all eating. Clock in, D. Yeah, it's time to go to work. It's time to go to work. Yeah, it's time to go to work. See, clock in, D. Yeah, it's time to go to work. It's time to go to work. Yeah, it's time to go to work. Gone clock in, clock in, clock in, gone clock in, clock in, clock in, gone clock in, clock in, clock in, clock in. Yeah, it's time to go to work. See the star on the field, you gon' meet D-Law. Thinking you an outlaw, we sending the predator. Jalen Smith scoop up the whole field, so how you gon' play here, bruh? If you release your dogs, we got a wolf hunter. LVE, tackling Dutchman coming. If you hungry and trying to eat like Zeke, we'll send in a taco to sweep you off your feet. Now you deep in the woods, plus we got a couple Collins. They say time and pressure make diamonds, the hot boy shining. Clock in, D, yeah, it's time to go to work. They say, defense wins championships. We're here in Dallas, we got a top 10. When the hot boys hit the field, this is what we tell them. Listen what we tell them. This is what we tell them. Go to work. Clock in, D, yeah, it's time to go to work. It's time to go to work. Yeah, it's time to go to work. See, clock in, D, yeah, it's time to go to work. It's time to go to work. Yeah, it's time to go to work. Gone clock in, clock in, clock in, gone clock in, clock in, clock in, gone clock in, clock in, yeah, it's time to go to work. See my defense, they on the field right now. Yeah, my defense, they yelling 3 and now. Yeah, my defense, they don't like your quarterback. So my defense, all trying to get them sacks. With the ball in the air, secondary go to work. Byron Jones, he be there, he be lying, he be lurking. If you get past him, Jeff Heath gon' hurt him. Put the ball down, go ahead and run it. I got a hot front four when they coming. Plus we got the best linebacker duo in the whole NFL. We the hot boys sizzling on fire, come to give your team hell. Clock in, D, yeah, it's time to go to work. It's time to go to work. Yeah, it's time to go to work. See, clock in, D, yeah, it's time to go to work. It's time to go to work. Yeah, it's time to go to work. Go defense, go defense, gone defense, clock in, D, yeah, it's time to go to work. I know I said at the beginning of this track, man, that we had like a top 10 or like a top 5. Hot boys gearing up to be triple D, you know what I'm saying? Clock Dallas Doomsday defense. Listen what the hot boys tell them, man. Put me in, coach. Yeah, we all hard hitters. Smell fresh meat. Yeah, we all eating. Put me in, coach. Yeah, we all hard hitters.
The 2019 Dallas Cowboys season is only a few months from kicking off, but this year, let's do things a little different. Instead of just watching games at home or just going to a game, let's actually experience our Dallas Cowboys, just like West Coast does. Cowboys Experience is my one-stop shop for all my Cowboys game day weekends. Their packages are all inclusive, including 2 nights hotel accommodation. We'll pick you up and drop you off at the airport and game. Want to hang out and get autographs from current and former Cowboy greats like Drew Pearson? If you're ready to experience the Dallas Cowboys like no other, make sure you inbox West Coast or go to cowboysexperience.com today. 2019 Dallas Cowboys season.
This is Ray Williams. Thank you so much for hanging out with us with Dallas Cowboys Scout.
Appreciate it.
My man West Coast in this buck.
Thank you for watching West Coast. Shout out West Coast Cowboys. You know, it's always love over here. Raider, Cowboy, always a Cowboy.
Did one hell of a job, and the only thing else I got to say is, how about them Cowboys? Yeah!
What's up with you guys? It is your boy West Coast, man, and we live in the building, man. We back. We back. You know what I'm saying? Well, I've been back. You know what I'm talking about? But y'all know Boss Cowboy, he had to move from one side of Texas to the other side of Texas, a.k.a. the other side, one side of Earth to the other side. So you know how that be, man. So welcome to Boss, man. What's up with you, man? Glad to have Boss Cowboy from Boss Cowboy Sports back in the building, man. What's up with you, man?
Hey, what's up, man? You've been holding it down. Thank you, West Coast, man. Shoot, you've been killing it.
Shoot,
you know, 4 days felt like 3 weeks.
Yeah, I mean a lot happens in train. A lot happens during football season in 12 days. That's technically 2 weeks. Your team play 2 different games in the same time. So you already know we had to keep it moving though. But if you on Boss Cowboy Sports, you already know you haven't missed anything because of our partnership agreement. Everything that I post goes on my page and his page. So you know, if you watching from Boss Cowboy Sports, I appreciate you for staying staying loyal to the soil, as we call it, staying loyal to the soil, and making sure you understand where you get your Cowboy information from. So everybody that kept watching over there from Boss Cowboy Sports, we appreciate you, and let's rock this thing. Everybody that's on Dallas Cowboy Scouting, we appreciate you, and shout out to everybody that's on West Coast Cowboy on my YouTube, man, because my YouTube is growing like a mug, and I appreciate you guys. Remember, if you guys want to support, if you're not at this point able to become a scout, don't trip. You can become a scout simply by going to my YouTube, hitting that YouTube button, hitting that subscribe button, so we can stay in touch. What's up with you guys? So, I'm gonna go ahead and Boss Cowboy, I'm gonna let you go ahead and do some shout outs this morning. Who you see in the comment box, man?
I saw Curtis on my page. I appreciate you, Curtis. Looking at your page, I see my boy Chris Tooley. Oh, my boy Nathan James Hightower, man, a war daddy. I'm going to call him a hot boy in one of my sports groups, man. He's a dog. What's up, Nate? Stay with us, too, bro. And then, then obviously I see Kerry Carlton Jr. He's a loyal, faithful guy. Then Curtis Starborn Harris. I never saw you before, so stay with us, my brother. Jay Quinn's one of my favorites, man. And Dak Ryder. You know, I'm going to call him a truth rider more than a Dak rider. And then, we got Kerry, so I'm going to turn my head to the side like my boy Kerry, at least for a moment, out of H-Town. So, yeah, we see my boy John J. Lewis coming in and say, yo, what's up, John? And then Joe Trenchina, fresh out of Italy, Mr. No Sleep himself.
You know it, man.
Yeah, my boy never sleeps, you know what I mean? He said that, like, basically we the source of information, not just us, but social media, while he's in Italy. So, keeping him abreast, and I just love how we got fans around the world.
Appreciate you, man. Hey, right now we have 56 people watching on YouTube. We got like 7 people watching on Boss Cowboy Sports. We got like 8 people watching on YouTube. So we're at about like 70 people watching. Hey, y'all, can we please do some sharing? Let's get some sharing this morning, y'all. Let's make sure we do some sharing. Remember, sharing simply lets West Coast and Boss Cowboy know that you care about what we do here with our brand, man. Let's try to get 100 people in here. Let's try to get the stream going and get this thing up. Let's have some fun. You guys know the more people, the more we get it turned up, man. But most importantly, man, we appreciate the people who value this information enough to get on here and watch right now. So we appreciate you guys. So let's get into what's up with you, Stumpville. Richard Evans, I see you over there on YouTube. Hey, you have a little bit of feedback coming in.
I do.
A little bit of feedback, but a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Let me see if I can turn something on mine too.
Yeah.
All right. Is that better? Sound a little bit better? All right, there we go. So, man, so the Dallas Cowboys, what's up, Scouts? I see all you guys coming in on YouTube. I appreciate you guys. All right, so what's up, Scouts? Let's go ahead and let's kind of talk about this. This game we just played here at not Philadelphia, 49ers. I was at the game in San Francisco. We had great travel, so I appreciate everybody who looked out and who prayed for me in my traveling up there. But we back home. Since we back home, it's time to get back to business, man. So let's talk about this game a little bit. Then we're also going to talk about subjects today.
We're going to talk about Ezekiel Elliott a little bit. We're going to talk about these guys that played in this game on Sunday. We're going to talk about Dak Prescott turning down $30 million. We're going to talk about Chris Covington. We're going to talk about Cedric Wilson. We're going to talk about this defense today. We're going to also talk about, do we need another kicker? We're going to talk about Dak, Zeke, and Cooper. What the hell's going on with the contract? We're going to talk about Blake Jarwin versus Jason Witten. Ooh, didn't even know they was beefing, did you? You didn't even know they was beefing, huh? All right, and then we're gonna talk about quarterback play. Really? Yes, we're gonna talk about some quarterback play today. So, yo, man, our first subject before we take off this morning is brought to you by our friends over there at Gridiron Heart All-Star. Remember, guys, if you have a child between the age of 3rd grade and 8th grade and you want them to be a part of the premier All-Star game in the United States, man, this is also owned and operated by Cowboy fans, so your kids are gonna be in good hands. The premier All-Star game in the nation, man. So, yo, before we get into some actual players stuff, let's just kind of talk about the overall totality of the game. Then we'll kind of narrow it down and we'll kind of go into different facets of the game. You know what I'm saying? The first thing I want to talk about today is kind of like, this defense, man. I know this was a preseason game, and I know a lot of people don't give a lot of stock in preseason. But the only thing that kind of makes me want to take this preseason game not necessarily a lot of serious, but it definitely wants me to take it, want to look at it, with a good eye, is because yes, the offense didn't come out there and produce the way we felt they were, or even look the way we felt they should have been. But one thing I do know about the offense, one thing I know about this defense is, man, this defense came out ready to play, bro. Like, this defense came out ready to play. You know what I'm saying? And not only did they come out ready to play, the defense came out ready to play, bro. Hold up. Not only did they come out ready to play, but your defense was able to force 3 turnovers. Now, we know one of them was a bad call. The fumble was a horrible call. You could clearly see the player hit his butt on the ground, and the play should have been dead. But for whatever reason, they overturned it. You know what I'm saying? They overturned it. So the Dallas Cowboys, in all essence, forced 3 turnovers. They had the 2 interceptions, and they had the 1 fumble. Now, that's what makes me feel like this offense could have played better, because the defense on all faces, for the most part, played really, really well. So that's why, in my opinion, it's hard for me to just be like, boss Cowboy, let's just blow this game off and not even pretend that our offense really didn't go out there and was like 4 for 15 on on 3rd down. Like, it's really, really, it's really hard for me to just overlook how bad my offense played, considering my defense, who's at the exact same practice every single week, played pretty darn good. Now, think of this, man. The Dallas Cowboys defense allowed, as far as passing yards, they allowed a total of 339 yards. But think of this. The San Francisco 49ers had 16 penalties for 216 total yards. That is a lot of penalties. I'm going to be honest with you. Had that would have been a regular season game, it would have been like the second most ever in NFL history. You know what I'm saying? So my question to you, boss Cowboy, is how do you overlook the dexterity between the bad play of the offense the first team played, they were okay. You know what I'm saying? There was nothing really, they looked very normal. They looked like they did last year. Go 70, 80 yards, stall in the end zone, stall in the red zone. But this defense, regardless if it was the first team, the second team, or even the third team, balled. I want to know, what are your thoughts on that, man?
So you want me to talk about the defense or the offense?
Either way, it's collaboration of both.
So I'm gonna just go everywhere in, my brother. So listen, I have some different thoughts than what I've been kind of hearing in the public. One thing that I actually like what I saw on the offense a lot, except in the red zone. I really actually love what I saw, especially considering it's the first preseason game. What I saw was the usual for most, which is we moved the balls between the 20s and we stalled out in the red zone. We did that from the starters all the way to even our third team people. Now, what I was excited to see, West Coast, very excited to see, and I don't think most people caught this, is Kellen Moore did have his fingerprint on this offense. People say, no, it looked the same. In some ways it did, in the way that we played, but what was way different, I want people to go back and look at the game again. We didn't run a bunch of tight end sets. Go look at it. We didn't run a bunch of 12, 13s at all. We ran mostly 11, and even in the red zone, we was lining up in 11 personnel. We weren't doing that, West Coast, and we was even lining up 4 wides a lot. 4 wides with us, So I was, like, for this to be the first preseason game, I was hopeful to see that. Like, what is Kellen Moore? What's going to be Kellen Moore's fingerprint? And to me, it seems like he's going to be like a type of Rams where he want to put his athletes on the field, And I like to see that. That's a good sign to me. Now, going to the defense, your defense really flawed. You know who the standout guy to me was? Taco.
Hey, boss, can I get you to fix your mic just a little bit?
This is what you shut it down.
It's saying you're getting a real hard echo out of it. It's saying getting a real hard. Scott says it sounds absolutely terrible. They say your microphone sounds as bad as our red zone performance. You know what I'm saying? But hey, this is kind of like my thing on the offense, and I did you did see some variations, but I mean just spreading your wide receivers out multiple times is absolutely good. But the thing that I wasn't really feeling about our red zone efficiency is even when we were spreading them out and doing 4 wide receiver sets, we were still running plays that were one-on-one wins. Like on both, like even on the third down play that we were going, that play that Dak got the ball knocked up. We're trying to do a fade. We're trying to do a crosser route in the middle of the middle of the field. Like, bro, when you're in the red zone, you should be throwing into the end zone. And it just seems like right now our offense is more predicated on us throwing the ball in front of the end zone and hoping and praying that our players can make one-on-one moves to get them inside the end zone. Like, we need to have a team that has red zone issues. Throw the ball in the red zone. So then all you have to do is catch the ball.
Yeah, and see, one thing that I switched my mic, so y'all let me know how this will sound. I switched to a different mic.
Jacob said he loved the comparison between the red zone and Boss Cowboys mic.
And man, y'all gonna get off my microphone, I'll tell you that.
Go ahead, talk. I'm gonna listen so I can see if it's good.
But this is the deal. It's something that I wanted to write about because I was worrying about this a while ago. Is we don't have red zone athletes. That's one of our major problems right now. Is we don't have people in the red zone because what happens in the red zone is the field shrinks, and that's why I was saying in my articles for a long time, Dak and Cooper and Rush and White, they Dak-friendly supersized receivers. We got a bunch of route runners. We don't have a bunch of athletes. You know who didn't have any problems scoring in the red zone?
San Francisco.
Heard. Let's say who really didn't.
The guy we told the Cowboys to draft,
yes.
That guy scored twice.
Yes, and it was big ball scores.
One he just basically just like it. I almost like wanted to cry on the inside because he scored in a way that we were like, that's what we need. Like, he literally just stood up over the dude and just caught the ball. Like, he was bigger than the guy. He
Des Bryant him. He Des Bryant him. And in the red zone, honestly, it's about the athletes. It's about the athletes a lot of times, even sometimes more than the play calling, And so when you have a bunch of quick receivers out there, quickness is not really your advantage anymore because the space shrunk. When you have a lot of space and quickness, you can kill people with quickness when you have a lot of space. But we don't have a space. So it's nothing we can do about it. And we got rid of Rico. We're not going to see him compete, So we're not going to bring back Dez. And at this point, I wouldn't even want Dez how Dez was talking lately. So it's one of those things to where they putting a lot of weight on Kellen Moore. We said that was risky, and we seeing the risk of it. They throwing all the weight of fixing major red zone issues on a new offensive coach. So it's one of those things to where it's like, we're gonna see if it work out. At least they got film to where they can work on it. This is the first film, but that part looked exactly the same. Where we really, really, really moved the ball well between the 20s, and then all of a sudden we get in that red zone, we stall out. It wasn't a Dak problem because it happened against who? Rush and White. Every one of them that got into that red zone stalled out. What says to me is system related more than even quarterback related, because all the guys had red zone opportunities. All three quarterbacks, all on field.
Yeah, I mean, and that's at the end of the day, I think the only thing that we were really trying to hope to work on today was red zone efficiency. Like, I didn't need to see these running back run because I already know the Cowboys have a pretty darn good running game. You know what I'm saying? When I look at preseason game, I am looking at to see, did we improve on things that we were practicing on? You know what I'm saying? Like, if we were practicing deep field goal kicks, when we go out there and play and we actually have an opportunity against another team, do we show that improvement on the field? And like, my thing is this, like, if we've been practicing red zone and we have been practicing red zone, I just feel that it should not have been. We have 4 tries for the red zone, 5 to be exact, but we had 5 total tries and we came away with 3 field goals, 3 field goals. So it's like
3 or 4.
So it's like, it's like, man, if we're going to have, my thing is this, man, this is not the year to be having issues. When you were up here trying to take a guy like Zeke off the field via not signing him, this is not the year to have red zone issues. Like, you cannot have a major proponent of a person that you use to score points off the field. You know what I'm saying? Because my thing is this. If Ezekiel Elliott does not play in 2019, what you saw was your offense, give or take Amari Cooper. And I'm going to be honest with you. Like, Amari Cooper and Dak, I don't think is the same with Amari Cooper, Dak, and Zeke. I don't think that's the same. Like, I just don't think that's the same. And I don't want my offense to be predicated on us throwing the ball a lot. Because that's not our offense. And that's not even what we drafted that's not what we were setting up. If we were to bring our offense in that direction, that would be a total philosophy change. Total philosophy change. All right, so that was just some quick tips. Some quick thoughts on this defense, man, and this defense and this offense as a whole. You know what I'm saying? I think as a whole, the defense won the day. I think the defense and it's crazy because think about this, Boss Cowboy. Which unit has the most moving pieces over the last couple years? Your offense or your defense?
Offense.
By far. Want to know why? New offensive coordinator, new quarterback coach. You had 3 offensive linemen playing on your offensive line at regular play. You know what I'm saying? So, there's a lot of moving parts. Then you got Ezekiel Elliott that wasn't even there. You know what I'm saying? It's a preseason game. He wasn't playing anyway. But he hasn't been in practice. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of moving parts on your offense. So it's like we can't expect this many moving parts and then also expect for greatness on the field right now. I just don't think it's realistic. But what I think is realistic, if we're going to be in the same place, we should at least be efficient in them same plays, right? So we can get to the end zone, but guess what? That's where we need the creation. We don't need the creativity to get to the end zone. We have a problem getting in the end zone. And man, I had a really good clip from Stephen Jones. Stephen Jones was talking last night. He was actually talking on the game feed. And Stephen Jones said right after Mayer made that last field goal, we would like to turn some of these field goals into touchdowns. That's what he said. Because remember, a playoff game or a preseason game is literally like a doctor's checkup. It's like a doctor's checkup. Imagine if you had an illness, right? And then you go to a doctor, you have surgery to remove that illness from your body, right? Then they send you and you go out in life being that preseason game. And you start saying, oh, snaps. My arm is feeling numb again. that wouldn't signal a red light even though you got cut out what was supposed to stop that numbness in your hand. We cut that out. So you walking around, you would start thinking like, yeah, something may not be. I'm not saying this is an automatic check engine light. This is not a blaring check engine light. But this is hey guys, instead of us running around the Dallas Cowboys, they always take like 10 minutes and do this group run before and after every practice. Instead of doing that, how about we delegate that extra 10 minutes to the red zone? You know what I'm saying? Instead of doing these competitions with Dak and Mike White to see if they can hit the crossbar, which is like something you never even do in an actual game, how about we practice more on the red zone? You know what I'm saying? Some of them motions and them screens and them audibles, how about we do some of that in the red zone? Because my thing is this, boss, would you allow your sons to consistently get better at something that they're not going to use?
Well, no, I mean, and then it's a blinking red light, West Coast. No, it's been blinking, actually. Like, everything improved with Cooper except the red zone. Just think about that. Everything improved. Dak improved, Zeke improved, our yardage improved, points improved, but our red zone efficiency was still around the same. So that's a major red flag coming out of preseason one. That's like major. It's extremely major to come out of preseason one and see all the quarterbacks, not just that, stall out when they hit the red zone. And it says to me that they putting a lot of weight on Kellen Moore
to fix everything.
Yeah, to fix everything. And it's like, it's a test for him out the gate. It's a big test for him. So we're going to see what kind of adjustments he makes and how much he's holding in the bag, because that could also be part of it too. I wanted to kind of talk about it real quick, kind of like some people that kind of stood out since we just talked about the game. Some people that kind of stood out to me was Devin Smith and Cedric Wilson. Devin Smith made some tough contested catches, you know? It's like a lot of people not talking about him enough, but Devin Smith, like...
I did a video on him yesterday.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, he was one of my three. He was one of my two. I picked Devin Wilson, and I picked Devin Wilson, and I picked Blake Jarwin. I mean, Devin Wilson, Devin Smith. Devin Smith and Blake Jarwin were my two superstars of the game.
Blake Jarwin came out looking straight hot.
He came out looking like a number one wide receiver. I mean, like a number one tight end. He came out looking like, why you give Jason Garrett that $2 million again so he can be my backup? That's what he looked like.
He wasn't just winning. He was winning with ease on those lines.
Yeah, he was. And
he was like 2 or 3 yards of separation, bro. Like,
and he would have scored too, but Cooper Rush just missed him, man. That seam over the middle. He couldn't drop it. If that was Dak drops that.
Yeah, and then I like how he was finding them open pockets, bro. He looked like he'd been doing his work, and he was finding them open pockets. Now, with Jarwin and Witten, I wouldn't mind a resurgence of 12. I wouldn't mind, because both of them going against a base defense linebackers, that's going to be hard. With this new Jarwin, oh my God, man, you know, Jarwin, I want to see if Jarwin can stay like this through preseason. If Jarwin can stay like this through preseason, oh, we good. We better than good. Now, a disappointment with Schultz.
Really?
Like big time.
Wait, time out. What do you mean a disappointed? Like, well, how are you disappointed in Schultz? Like, that's kind of...
Well, that's
like, what you expecting?
Well, because everybody was hyping him up to be a blocker coming out of Stanford. The first play that Mike White gets in the game, Schultz basically breaks his back. How? He missed the safety block, doubling a defensive end, which made no sense. And the first play out the game, when White gets in there, he gets cracked in the back. Pow! And so it's like a lot of people mad at White, but you got to consider when you first get in the game and the first thing you feel is your back contort, and you say, that came from my blind side and I didn't see it. I was happy that Mike White actually rebounded. Another thing I want to say that I like, West Coast, that I don't think a lot of people saw. We was going downfield a lot. Not with Dak, but Cooper and White, they were going downfield, and I like that because you know what that resulted in? That resulted in a lot of us moving the chains, not even with just completions, with pass interferences. Sometimes those vertical attempts can move the chains based on them panicking and DBs panicking. Remember when Romo got in the game in Philly, that's the first thing he started doing. He started going downfield, right? But most of the chain movement of that drive on pass interferences. So it is a couple of things that I saw about our offense I can be excited about. Like, if we're going to take vertical shots and keep them honest, we go also sometimes change the field because sometimes people are going to commit pass interference. So it's a couple of things that I saw about that. And one more thing I want to talk about real quick, man, is Michael Jackson. My God.
Yeah, we're going to get to him. We're going to get to him.
Okay, we'll come back to that. Ooh.
Hey, but you know what? If y'all been, I'm going to tell y'all right now, if y'all been watching the show, if you guys have been consistent watching my show and watching the programs and the stuff we put out, a lot of this stuff, you guys should not be surprised because I've been saying for the longest that Mike Jackson was not ready.
Oh, you
and
said
the
that?
same, yeah. Like, yeah. Like, bro, if you go look at, I'm going to tell you, the highlight that Michael Gallup's over the top drop that he made at training camp, that was on 33. Both catches that I did on Jon'Vea Johnson, me them big catches at training camp, both of them was on 33. Like, he has a problem with speed, bruh. He has a problem with speed. He allows it to get up on him way too fast. Way too fast. And then he doesn't have world-class speed. So it's like, if you allow speed to get up on you, you're in a back pedal, bro. So then you got to turn around. So once you, no matter how fast you are, when you go to turn around, you're slowing down. You know what I'm saying? That's why the Olympic team in the relays, they practice ways on how to do a power turn or a speed turn so they can still get around and still be moving. But you're going to slow down regardless. So if someone gets up on you fast and you still got to slow down, now they got a step. Now, you know what that is? A step in the NFL, you know what that is? ESPN top 10 plays. That's what it is. If someone has a step on you in the NFL, you have officially made ESPN's top 10 plays. Officially. Yeah. Because they are going to go top on you. They're going to go top on you. And then another thing that that's being very, very consistent is this, man. These boys are, he ain't his head around at all. You will always play ball better looking at it than you ever will trying to look at wide receiver. He tried to fight. He tried to fight through, but you got to remember the wide receiver sees the ball coming. Turn your head. Turn your head. But yeah, we definitely gonna get to him. I ain't trying to bang on too many people too exact. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, we definitely gonna get to that at some point of this show. But yeah, man, I wanted to kind of talk about
Michael Jackson. I'll just say don't watch the film. Just go to the next preseason game.
Yeah, he needs more time. I've been saying it, man. He needs more time. He needs at least a year. He needs a year of sitting behind some guys and kind of understanding what he needs to do in the system, man. Because I've seen it happen way too many times. Like, I've seen it happen several times. You know what I'm saying? So, the boy's a rookie, though. You know what I'm talking about? I ain't knocking him, but he is a rookie.
Let me ask you a question, man, since we both on Blake Jarwin, too, because, we saw what happened with Mike Jackson. Everybody saw that. Everybody's mama saw that. But going back to Blake Jarwin, you said that we was going to talk about Blake Jarwin versus Witt.
Yeah, that's all I'm about to say now. Like, in my opinion, if you're asking who the better two tight ends, who's the best tight end on our team right now, is Darwin by far, man. And it is at a point, people always say the stump your growth. Could this stump your growth? I'm going to be honest with you, man. Jarwin is a guy who I definitely believe is improving, and the number one thing that he needs to do to improve is he needs more reps. He needs more reps.
So I'm going to ask you a prediction. Will Dallas' love of Witten again keep him on the field to where it takes away from the developmental reps of the jaw?
I don't know. It's going to come down to Jason Witten being honest. Like, Jason Witten going to be honest, man. Like, if you know this boy ain't better, he ain't better than, like, at some point you might have to be like, kind of like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Jason Witten, you can't just be in there bossing up and not letting this young pup eat. You know what I'm saying? So, But my thing is also this too. Jason Witten on a 1-year deal.
That's gonna be tough though, because first of all, we know Jason Witten is the ultimate competitor. Jason Witten will see somebody better than him, and in his mind, he'll say he's not better than me. That's generally how competitive people are.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I don't see him going against himself.
And go ahead. Yeah.
I just don't see him going against himself, just to be honest. I don't see him basically anointing an up-and-coming guy, even to the benefit of the team, because in his eyes, he gonna say, I'm still better than him. And in certain ways, he's still gonna be able to make the case. Because, like, Witten still gonna have hands like glue. He gonna still basically beat linebackers all day, except a couple of tweeners. Like Jones got with him in the Atlanta game.
Yeah, but we don't need him to beat linebackers. We need him to beat. We need him there, but we're sending him up the middle. We're sending him deep up the middle. He needs to be able to get past the linebacker while at the same time trying to get to the safety.
No, I agree. You know, I agree.
Well,
with
linebacker,
that.
That's 4 yards. What you mean?
That's
What the hell you mean? That's 4 yards.
We finally started to see a tight end with some actually vertical threat to his game, right?
Yeah.
And it's refreshing. We see some good yards after the catch. That was refreshing. Like when you see Witten catching, he falls down like an old man, like, you know, like, man, come on. Now we see George.
Yeah.
You know, Joe was getting those yards after the catch. I mean, he was looking good, man. It's like
Jarwin was looking real good, man. Like he was looking real good. And I'm gonna tell you who else was looking good. And I ain't gonna say I ain't hate on him, but I kind of didn't give him a chance because he was the last minute at the last minute. But number 84 tight end. Number 84 was out there moving nice too, man.
Bro, listen, bro.
I gotta look. I forget his name. Throw his name in the comment box. But number 84 was looking good too. He had some bad balls thrown his way too, and he was still trying to make plays on them. But that one play he snagged, that was pretty nasty, and he was getting up the seams too.
Bro, I was so mad looking at 84, and then I saw a guy with 80, and I was like, "Who is that?"
I know, I did it too. They gave his number away quick.
And then it's like the dude just like Rico that's worth 80. It's a smaller version of Rico. I'm like, you should have just kept the dude.
Hey, he in Cleveland now. He in Cleveland, buddy.
This is what picks me off about us, man. This is what I like about some of us fans, some of our analysts, and some of just everything. Everything that they hated about Rico, they were praising about 84. He never played football. He was a baseball player. Then he was this. Then he was that.
I hope he drops a mixtape. Lord, let him drop a mixtape.
I was like, now the same thing y'all praising about this guy, y'all hated about Rico.
Lord, let him drop a mixtape.
Like, shoot yourself. Like, how can you hate it with this guy, but love it with this guy? He took a football late. But for 3 years, everybody been saying Rico's just a basketball player. You know, and so everybody gonna be watching the Browns now.
Yeah.
I am. I'm gonna see what happened. Now, if he does even good over there, I'm gonna be like, y'all could have been pushing Schultz. It's not about right now pushing Witten and Jarwin. It's about making sure Schultz the right fit. Because Schultz the one that got Mike White blew up.
All right, I'm gonna tell you right now. I am going to tell you right now. There are some players that I do not think will, and I hate saying this about guys, man, but there are guys that I think are gonna have a hard go in this NFL. And I'm sorry, you know, Schultz is one of them, man, because as a tight end, he only gets open when it's designed for him to get open. And I'm gonna be honest with you right now, the block that he missed, if Rico misses that block, they're taking him off the field.
Oh God, bro.
Cause bro, like the safety was sitting right in his face. Like he was sitting right in his face.
He doubles the defensive end and get your quarterback blown up to pieces.
Bro, this is what I wrote yesterday in my notes. This is what I wrote yesterday. Look at this. It says, look at this. Look at this. This is yesterday. Schultz missed blocks, gets Mike killed. Look what I write under it. Mike wasn't the same after that hit.
Yeah, and what quarterback would be?
Like your very first hit of the game. Mop like lawn chair. Schultz just, and then he missed him on a double block. Like you were blocking someone who was already blocked.
Right, and then it's a safety. So you know who man it is.
It's yours.
they didn't do like a switch or anything that confused
He was standing right in front of him.
He's sitting right in front of him. And I never saw Rico do that.
Yeah, that was.
I never saw it. Never, not one time. Right? Like, think about it. Who have you ever seen blown up because of Rico?
I mean, they had Rico in blocking on run block. So I mean, I don't believe in any of that. Like they had Rico blocking in on run block on run
it's
play.
Like I don't even want to get into it too more because that's obviously dead horse right now. He's gone. But like it's like come on, man. It's like we had a chance to see competition. We say that's what this is supposed to be about, right? What they pretty much did is almost assured Schultz a spot by getting rid of Rico. And like I want my guys pushed. I want the competition to make the cream really rise to the top. Like fight for those jobs. We already see Whitney and Jones in the 1 and 2. But you gave away the number 3. And number 3 got major questions. Major questions. So God forbid, what if something happened to Jones? God forbid, what if something happened to Whitney? It never does. Whitney's Mr. Steel, Mr. Durable. But what if we have like what happened with Dak when Kenny Moore went down with that ankle, and then Romo went down with his back? It was having a good quality number 3 that saved the 2016 season.
That's true.
So it's like we could be taking it for granted because, and I don't know the real reasons why. I don't really believe the reports that's coming out or came out. That's a whole other story, man. But it's like I'm just not impressed with what I'm seeing in Schultz, and I'm seeing a whole lot of passes on him on stuff that and like you said best, he doesn't win one-on-one. He doesn't win, and he wasn't winning on 3rd and 14. So what you go against when you're going against athletes like real freak back of stars?
Yeah, man. I mean, you're basically gonna have a guy just out there just going around in circles, man.
So like if we say we was gonna talk about the quarterbacks, I got a different type of quarterbacks too.
I feel you. Real quick, man. Before we get onto them quarterbacks, I want to talk about one more guy who had a stellar game that we didn't highlight him as much, but I'm actually gonna give him some love on my next video that I'm doing today. And that is my boy Chidobe Awuzie, man. Chidobe Awuzie. There was a series that only consisted of 3 downs: a first down, a second down, and a third down. And Chidobe Awuzie stopped 2 of the plays in that series. Like he basically killed that whole series for the 49ers. He stopped 2nd and 10 down, and then he had a ridiculous pass breakup on the 3rd and 10. So my boy Chidobe Awuzie, man, he has been said at being at training camp that he has been taking that next step, and there was even people that were talking about possibly even playing him at safety. And I'm gonna be honest with you, man, my boy Chidobe Awuzie, man, he definitely balled out in the little bit of time that he played. He did a really, really phenomenal job of reading on the second down. It was a 2nd and 10. They did a little flare out, and he literally fills the gap so quickly, tackles the running back down. Then on the very next play, on the opposite side of the field, he gets in position, rides the wide receiver's hip, and knocks the ball down. I was very, very impressed with Chidobe Awuzie. Very impressed with him. He's actually kind of giving away my video that I was going to do today, but I'm going to be dropping it in right after this show. But what are your thoughts on Chidobe Awuzie's day, man, and Chido's progression?
Chido looked like a 3rd-year corner, confident, knowing like from his preseason when he first came out to looking at this intro preseason, he looked like I belong. That's kind of happens in you when you have a lot of experience, right? And so he coming out basically kind of showing, man, you're not gonna bring no like anybody's in front of me and think I'm not gonna dominate. And that's what you want to see when you got a emerging corner going against receivers that's up and coming. They should dominate, and that's what we saw. Another thing, and I'm not surprised because the baller is really starting to come out. I was definitely loving his acceleration out his brakes. I mean, his sure tackling. it was even more than the breakups. It was quality tackles out of him and Lewis. You know, like both of them just look like they belong together. They just look like they belong together. Like if I could have my ideal secondary right now, it would be Byron Jones if he healthy, obviously Cheeto, and then Lewis. I mean, those three, they shutting down most nickels. They making it. I mean, most 11 personnel packages that they'll go against, where it's 3 receivers. Oh, they go make it hard on the quarterback on just pure coverage. Those three. Obviously, Anthony Brown was beat on the end breaking route, and he turns. So kind of like your weak link still kind of was what your weak links, right? Just what it was, right? Preview, and you know we trying to run trainer crowd. Brown is looking even better, and I know you went along there. Guys, then when the lights come on, it always happens. He's the one that's Jimmy beat. He's just the one that's usually beat. So just like so it's like Cheeto balling, and I'm not surprised. He's gonna really help that pass rush a lot. He's gonna help that pass rush a lot. He's gonna get some coverage shots because of Cheeto this year.
Yeah,
another thing I was saying,
go ahead.
I was saying they was turning around for the ball.
Yeah, they was.
They was turning around for the ball, so you could tell that there's an emphasis on turnovers, and you can see it early. Like they looking to get the ball. They not doing what they was doing last year, where they get up. You didn't catch it. You didn't catch it. Wee, wee, wee. No, they looking up for it. When they running with you, they looking for it. You see them doing it at practice. You see them doing it in the games. So like the corners, except for Michael Jackson, and he young. I'm gonna give him time. I'm gonna give him time. But the starting corners, how can you say you're not happy with what you see out there so far?
Yeah, you can't, man. You really can't because the starting corners they looked fairly well. You know what I'm saying? And honestly, if Byron Jones isn't ready, I have no problem putting my boy having Cheeto, Jordan Lewis, and Jones in the middle. I mean, having having Anthony Brown in the middle, like back at that slot position. I don't have a problem with it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, obviously, I don't want Anthony Brown on his best, but my boundary corners are cool. And Jordan Lewis was out there putting his nose in some stuff too. Like I think there was a big emphasis on this defense on turnovers, but I think there was also a huge emphasis on freaking tackling, like making sure when you hit somebody, they say hit. You know what I'm saying? Because there was a time my boy Jeff Heath did some really good job putting his nose in there too of stopping them. You know what I'm saying? Like they really doing a real big job because on this play, on the pass breakup, everybody went crazy on the pass breakup, but look how crazy they go and look how crazy them linebackers go when Cheeto Bell-Wouzier went up and filled that hole and made that tackle. Like both you see Jalen Smith running up to him right now and doing their little thing. You know what I'm saying? Like they're taking pride in that. And I'm gonna be honest with you, that's why I say if Byron Jones doesn't get turnovers in a year where we're focusing 100% on turnovers, it's gonna be hard for him to get paid, bro.
Right. So one thing though, man, that I'm also looking out for in the safeties is Woods on tackling. That's what I'm going to be looking for when we really see Woods go live. Because, it's been a lot of talk about his ball skills, and he's been the talk of training camp because of interceptions. And obviously, we want interceptions. We obviously want to get an offensive ball. And if we can get an offensive ball, I think we dominate games. But I'm going to be keeping my eye on that because that's always really been my concern with Woods. Not really him in coverage. It's more so always been him tackling. So, for the debut, I love what I saw at corner. I do feel like we could move on from Byron if we had to and be fine. I think Lewis and Awuzie could hold it down and be, I ain't going to say better than him, but it wouldn't be a major drop-off if we lost Byron, in my opinion, when you have Lewis and Awuzie. It just wouldn't be a major drop-off. But the safety, I expect Woods to make a gain in terms of getting the ball. But if he missing tackles, man, I'm having some problems still.
Yeah. And I ain't gonna lie, shout out to my boy Donovan Wilson, man. Hey, Donovan Wilson makes one more play, bruh. Kayvon Frazier don't make a play. 35 may be getting replaced with 37.
Right.
Because my thing is this, Kayvon, you know I've been rocking with you for a long time, but we call you the hard hitter boy. And the announcer says 35 has to know that guy, even though he's small, he played run back in high school. I'm like, what? Bro, that's Kayvon Frazier. Kayvon should have destroyed him.
Yeah, man.
Like, Kayvon should have destroyed him. Regardless if he got the yards or not, Kayvon should have destroyed him.
Yeah, Jada Hurd put
the running back on Kayvon. And the safety position looked, and I was I'm on Georgia local, so he got him some run. He made him force all tackles, some open field tackles. It looked like he hurt his shoulder though. It was one play, it looked like he hurt his shoulder, he didn't come back, but on special teams. You know, one thing I was liking about him, whenever he was coming up on run support, y'all go watch it again. He was turning them offensive linemen up. I mean, he was coming up. I mean, you could hear the pads. Pow. I mean, he was coming up hard. Now, knowing the players away from me, but he was bringing contact anyway. You know, so. And I just don't see why he's not even getting more run. Like, they look like they got to run a third team. I'm like, why? Like, because the other safeties definitely not standing out. Like, for real, you know? And, like, even capable, like you said, man, like, you got Trump on receiver.
Yeah. And go ahead, finish what you're saying.
Well, one dude, I'm actually switch to the other side of the ball since we just kind of talking right now. I think one guy not getting enough love. Weber.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and I was actually, and that's actually that's actually I was gonna ask you a question, like and we were actually in agreement. You know, I ain't gonna lie, you guys. You know, I've been because of his work schedule and everything. We have been kind of like, you know, we had a game plan where I was gonna do my side and he had some stuff to held down. So I haven't really even talked to Boss this weekend, probably like in 3 days. I just trust that he watched the game and that he do his, you know, we have a commitment. So it's like I don't have to remind him to do his job. I just remind him of the commitment we have. So it's like when he know it's morning time, it's time to go to the show. I ain't gotta ask him, did you watch the game? You know what I'm saying? Because I understand his commitment. But you know what I'm saying? So we were just randomly talking, and we were talking about the running backs, and we basically just kind of said the exact same thing. And I know it's hard. I know some people may not want to believe it or want to say it, but I mean, if you go look at it, man, the boy Mike Weber had himself a game, man. Like, considering everything that was going on, Mike Weber played the best in that game as far as the running backs. Go ahead, boss.
Yeah, man. Like, see, this is the thing
that people got to really peep. Look at what Pollard was running behind, and then look at what Mike Weber was running behind. And look who made stuff happen with nothing. Mike Weber was making stuff happen with nothing. That protection was
not protection. That run blockage that Mike Weber was behind was
trash.
Woo. And he was making it happen. I was impressed. With both of the running backs, though. But I was more impressed with Weber because I take into my assessments of the degree of difficulty a lot. I don't just look at Pollard and say, Pollard looked better, but you had Pollard, T. Smith, Frederick, Zach, you got him with 20 pounds on Williams, Liel, so yeah, of course he showed, but I ain't gonna say of course because he did have patience, and I loved his patience in his running and the way he picked his holes. But Weber was working with the bottom.
63s and 64 and 69. I'm like, I didn't even know we had a 64. Who the hell is number 64? Like, some of these dudes, I was like, I know the team good, but you know what I'm talking about? Like, he had 64, 63, like all these random numbers you ain't never seen before. Go ahead, boss.
I'm saying for a debut, what I'm used to seeing is running back, they anxious, it's preseason, so they running up linemen's backs. As soon as they get the ball, they not waiting to see kind of like what kind of shows up in front of them. He was patient out the gate. He had vision out the gate. Now, it wasn't a lot to work with because sometimes your offensive line is just loose, right?
Flat.
So you have to try to imagine
what would a guy like Mike or Weber, what would he do if he had the protection, or not the protection, of push that Pollard has?
Exactly.
And I could see something, man, and I did. He is, to me, showing like what I always said about him coming out of Ohio State. He looking very Zeke-like. He looking very Zeke-like. His build, his vision, his patience. And you got to remember, Zeke took a little while to develop the patient running style. It took about 3-4 games into Zeke's rookie year to where he was patient and smart. I mean, Weber kind of came out like that. And if I had to make it between him and Dak, I'm going with Webb.
Yeah, and this is also kind of what I was talking about too, like, because you guys will, if you watch my halftime show, I had a couple of his family, I had his sister and his mom, I think, watching my halftime show, and there was people talking bad stuff, and I said this exact statement, and he did it 2 plays into the second half. I said, if Mike Weber will just understand that left side of the offensive line is not blocking, they're getting killed, like they're just getting killed, like it is what it is, they're getting killed. He put his foot in the ground and go the other way, then guess what? And you know what's so crazy? Schultz almost messed the play up by missing his block. Even on this play. Watch what Schultz does, because Schultz doesn't recognize that he's coming back the other way until the damn near play's over. That's why Mike Weber had to cut it out so far. I'm going to tell you guys right now, there was a time I was down on the field, and Mike Weber's just walking back and forth, and I'm going to tell you right now, for 31/10 of a second, thought it was Ezekiel Elliott.
I swear to God, bro.
I thought it was Ezekiel Elliott.
His running style, the way he stands, almost to the way that he walks, is very Zeke-like, bro. It's like if it's anybody that you want to be a backup to Zeke, is Zeke-like. To where I would even almost want them to move Pollard around, and I want to see Weber with first team offense.
Thank you.
I want to see what does he do with better push.
Yep.
Because what he's doing with bad push, and we're not saying he explode. Nobody trying to pump up Weber to say God. But what I'm saying is, if you look at the tea leaves of his vision, of how he's getting out, how he's running the ball, nothing. Imagine him with push. Imagine him with space. I think my man got something.
Yeah, and I do too. And I also think this. I don't give a damn. Like we kind of talked. We kind of talked a little bit. This is what you got to understand if you're watching this show. You need to understand the Dallas Cowboys are using Tony Pollard to jab Ezekiel Elliott. They're using him. You want to know why? Want to know how I know? Because Tony Pollard only played 4 snaps in his very first game. How many snaps did Ezekiel Elliott play in his first preseason game against the Seattle Seahawks, who had their number 1 defense in the game? You want to know why? Because Zeke was playing, and they wanted to introduce him to the NFL.
Yeah,
that was Zeke's introduction into the NFL.
Out the gate, tested an All-Pro killer safety
twice.
So let's stop this. Let's stop this Pollard and Zeke stuff. Stop it. We don't see enough yet to say that. I'm hopeful he is. Obviously, I would want another Zeke on the team, but let's just stop that part. Like, you
gotta know when Jerry Jones is using something. For Jerry Jones to go out there, and also think about this. If you're just looking at that game, there's no way off of 4 carries you're going to say that you feel that he can carry the load. Like, he didn't even carry the load last night. That made no sense.
At some point, we got to show Jerry that you can't say anything to us.
Thank you.
It's like you really talking to us like we're like real life dumb. Like, you like really think we're dumb. Now, it's some fans out there that actually kind of give that credit, though. Because anybody that's saying, based on a limited amount of film we have on Pollard, that he can carry the load. Come on, man. We gotta all think for a second. It's like, no, you don't compare 4 snaps or 4 attempts to 3 years of Russian leadership.
Exactly. Exactly. And boss, my boy.
Showing you what kind of business they doing. Like, and I want the Cowboy fans to understand this. What I'm getting ready to say. They're doing dirty business with Zeke, Dak, and Cooper.
Yep.
We need to be on the right side of this. We on the wrong side of this. A lot of us mad at Dak. We mad at Zeke. If a number come out on Cooper, we're gonna be mad at Cooper. Really be mad at the guys who doing dirty business right now. For them to even come to us and say, I believe Pollard can carry the whole load. Come on, man.
Hey, boss, can I say something, bro? The fact that the Dallas Cowboys allowed Dak to go out and play a preseason game and waited to see that the Packers didn't play good, that's dirty alone. So basically what you said is a preseason game is more valuable than you taking us to the playoffs 2 out of 3 years. Like, basically that's what they said. They said, no, we're not gonna pay you because of the last 3 years. We're gonna pay you. We feel comfortable about paying you because of a preseason game. If that doesn't make any sense, like, and that's another reason why I tell you guys preseason games count in Dallas. You wanna know why? Because they counted Jerry Jones. Because Jerry Jones took a preseason game and said, you know what? That meaningless game made me think about something. You know what that is? It means that I can pay Zeke. I mean, I can pay Tony Pollard can just play. Well, if that's the case, you should pay Dak because Dak balled pretty well in a meaningless game last year, week 17, didn't he?
Yeah.
Without Zeke, right?
And I won't call him meaningless because it was momentum going into the
But you get what
playoffs.
I'm just saying. It was a meaningless game because Zeke wasn't playing. That's why. And he was available. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But he played good.
Yeah,
So that game wasn't more important. The playoff game in Seattle wasn't as important as it was a Jerry Jones. It took a preseason game to get you to pay your quarterback.
Yeah.
So you didn't care about him beating Seattle. You didn't care about it. You didn't care none of that. It was a preseason game that got him paid. Okay.
And real quick, you want to touch on that money because it's going around.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to finish up what we finishing up, but yeah, we finish it up though. But my last thing I want to also talk about is my boy Donvay Johnson. You guys know I rock with my boy real tough. You guys know I rock with my boy real tough. He's also a scout. I don't want to show no partialities, but I want to be honest with you guys. Like one thing I will say about my boy Donvay, man, is you got to catch the ball, bro. You have to catch those. You got to catch those passes. On that third down pass was kind of big for him. But the only little love I am gonna give to him is this. One, you can tell that the Dallas Cowboys want him to succeed and want him to win. Why? Because the amount of targets they gave him. Secondly, he actually earned those targets. You want to know why? Because Donvay Johnson on film consistently got open.
Yep.
Got open. And I'm going to be honest with you, if you're telling me I have a wide receiver who's young, who drops passes, but he gets open, I'll take him every day. You want to know why? Because for $349, I can buy him a jug machine and he can practice catching all day. All day. And if you don't remember, Michael Gallup had the same problem, but he fixed it. And then you got to think catching passes from 3 different quarterbacks in one game. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I'll give him a little. You got to catch those passes, bro. You have to. Also, you can't compare Donvay Johnson to Cedric Wilson nor Devin Smith. You know why? Because those guys are 2-year vets. Plus, Devin Smith been in the league 3 years. Cedric Wilson been with the Cowboys 2 years. So those guys looked pro-ready. They looked pro-ready. Just like Lawrence Armstrong looked pro-ready. All of our rookies look like rookies. All of them.
True.
All of them, like all of them. The only one, in my opinion, that had like a pro moment was Weber.
And I would say Pollard too. You know, like I love his patience out the gate, but yeah, for the most part, you're right. The rookies look like rookies. And let me say one thing to echo your point, to not panic about Donvay. Because you know, obviously we get emotional when we see drops. And I mean this, the quarterbacks didn't play bad to me, especially Cooper Rush. He actually played good. His playmakers was failing him.
Yeah, hey, that's how you also, hey, boss, that's also how you know that the red zone efficiency isn't on the quarterbacks. Because all 3 of them got there.
Yeah.
That's how you know it's not on the quarterbacks. Because all 3 of them got to the red zone and all 3 of them couldn't get in. Yeah. That's your play calling.
Yeah.
That's your coach.
So, like, if you really look at it, Cooper Rush didn't play bad. He played good. He played good. He made some good decisions. He avoided pressure. Blitz was coming right at him. He beat the blitz, got rid of the football. Like, good stuff, like smart
Just needs more reps. Just need more reps.
Need more reps, and I was impressed. I felt hopeful watching Cooper Rush. Because what I saw is, okay, because the last year we was watching Cooper Rush and Mike White, they had horrible protection. Remember, Chad Green was protecting for him, bro. Like, nobody was going to get evaluated with that protection, period. Right? To see his decision making, he made good decisions with the football. Like, it looked like he could manage a game, I would say that. You know what I mean? He looked like he could, you know, we just give him a little bit of time. But John Vay failed him. But I'm not knocking John Vay because it is. I talk to Swam, and I'm not going to go away from, like, West Coast always say this. When you talk to a pro and they enlighten you and tell you how it is, don't walk away like they didn't say that.
Exactly. Or don't even ask them the question. They don't even.
Why you don't know what they said when a pro is giving you really what it's like? And I asked Swam this. I said, bro.
Swam, our old tight end that now plays for the Jacksonville Jaguars. We didn't sign.
Jaguars. Now, thank you, West Coast.
Did 3 years for the Cowboys with us. With Dak, he was Dak's tight end.
Like, we was talking to him, you know, at the SportsCon event, and I said, Swam, Dak would have been 100% his first preseason game on all his completions if it wasn't for your easy drops. I said, what happened? Because, like, the following year, you was catching everything. And he looked me dead in my face and he said, nerves. He said, nerves. He said, man, you know, he said, sometimes you kind of got to get going. Once you kind of start getting going, you realize it's just football.
Yeah.
It's football. And then it settles down. And that to me. So when I'm looking at Joe Vay, I'm looking at him through the eyes of a pro who told me what it's like when you're trying to develop.
Yeah.
Plus, we saw that with Jordan last year.
And we're talking about guys from little schools too. Think about this too. You're also talking about. Hey, can I give you a little tip? This was my daughter's first football game. Right? She's been to a game of high school football games. This is her first NFL game. You know what she asked me, boss? When we went down to the field.
What's up?
Why is the field so much bigger, Daddy? I said, no, the field's not bigger. The stand's bigger. You get what I mean? So imagine Toledo, these little school. You know, I'm not giving no, but like this is some of the biggest stages some of these guys have played on. So nerves has to be realistic.
Yeah, you gotta get and see good coaching. Get you going. They give you easy stuff to get you.
They
going.
make it slow. Hey, you remember the movie Hoosiers when the Indiana? You remember the movie? I remember this old school movie with Nick Nolte. When they played on was it Nick Nolte, but in the movie Hoosiers, when Indiana goes to the national championship, the coach makes two of the players jump up and grab the rim, and he says, "You guys notice? It's 10 feet. It's 12 feet tall, just like everybody. Well, how high is it? 10? He's like, it's 12 feet. The only thing's bigger is the stands. The court is the same court we play on every day.
Right. Yeah, and it's a couple of players that had the drops coming out of year one. Remember the Philly receiver that was from Southern Cal?
Oh, my boy Aguilera.
Aguilera came out with drops year one. You seeing drops now?
Hey, Amari Cooper came out with drops year one. Year 1 through 3.
So, like,
he led the league in 2017.
John Vay. Now, John Vay's got to still rise to the occasion.
He does.
Also people pass. But the biggest thing that you said, West Coast, that I hope didn't go past a lot of people, that was also very good to see.
He gets open, and that's something.
Like, if he kicks that slant, he better mess around and take that to the house.
Yep.
Like it's something about when you see a ball hit a home run and it's just barely foul ball. You say that boy got some power. So like I can look at it on the drops, or I can look at it like keep working with him. Like what did we do with John when we forgot John was garbage?
Yeah. Oh my God, boss, you just said something. I hope he gets the non-live treatment. I hope he gets the.
Yes, I hope he gets the.
That needs to be an article. That needs to be an article because there are players like Heath. There are players like who else got the non-live? Anthony Brown, who get the non-live treatment.
Even Xavier Woods.
Xavier Woods because y'all remember I apologized to Xavier Woods. Why? Because I told him, I said, bro, when I seen him at camp last week, I said, Xavier, I gotta apologize to you. He said, what's up? Let's go. I said, man, because the film had you not looking good, bro. I said, but I'm going to tell you, man, I've been out here 8 days, And bruh, you have improved. So my mom told me if you only meet somebody one time, say something nice. I want to tell you, my bad. He said, it's all good, bro.
Yeah. And that's big of you. You know, because a lot of us like to stay stuck in our original opinions. You know, if somebody changed, then you change. But like I was loving the fact that he was winning though. So it's like I'm not gonna be a Debbie Downer on, oh, he sucked. Like if I had to pick right now, I'm going with Cedric Wilson because he was reliable. I'm going with Devin Smith because he was reliable and made hard contested catches. If it was today. But I'm going to still give him a chance through all his practices and all his preseason. You know, because he showed the explosion.
Yeah, getting open in the NFL, I'm going to be honest with you guys. Like, Jon'Vea Johnson being able to get open by himself puts him in an elite category on our team.
Yep.
Because there are people on our team who cannot do that. Who can get open by themselves, by the route. And I'm going to be honest with you guys, Jon'Vea Johnson has the chance to be a Dak Prescott favorite target. You wanna know why?
Yep.
Because those are the type of receivers that Dak loves.
True. The people that win.
That just win, where all he has to do is throw you the ball.
Yep. Because Dak like when you clear separation.
Yep.
He don't like contested. Now he'll try you sometime in contested, but what he really just loves is, oh, you won? He gonna reward you. And that's so you know what I mean. And then you know what? Sometimes, man, my old coach used to say, sometimes you judge players on how they look in their pads. He looked built, you know what I'm saying? He looked like a strong pro. Like he didn't look like a third teamer. He looked like you could put 81 out there with the starters, and he looked like he belonged.
Yeah.
Just catch the ball.
Yeah.
Just catch the ball. Like for some people, they just need to settle down. You could even see on his face, he was just too.
It was too big.
Moment, bro. Like he was like. But same thing happened to Jerry Rice. People forget that. Jerry Rice, year one, full of drops. They was calling him a bust.
Yeah.
People be talking about the greatest of all time.
All you gotta do is Google it. Jerry Rice drops. It'll come up. All you gotta do is come up. It'll come up.
Year one, drop king. So it's like, but same thing with Jerry.
Can you get open?
He was open. He was just dropping. The moment was too big. And what you said was key. Coming from that small school, some of these guys are not built like Dak and Zeke, where they just rise to the moment and they just tanks under pressure. You know, everybody not like that. Some of them you gotta massage them up. You gotta massage them in the pros. You have to you gotta build their confidence like they did Swain. You know, you have to, massage Jarwin up. You gotta massage Xavier Woods up, and then eventually you get that solid pro. So some cats are instant.
Ooh, hey, Michael says, remember Amendola when he was here had the same problem. Freaking A, good point.
Yeah, so it's like. So
freaking A, Michael, good point.
So we talking about having vision, like, so, and not getting overwhelmed with a bad person.
Amari Cooper can help him with that too, because being with a great wide receiver can help you overcome that pressure. That kind of, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Cause now Jarwin, now every time Jarwin makes a play, you can see his smile through his he always got the biggest smile whenever he make a play. You can tell he having fun. Man, when he first got in, boy, he would look like he was way over his head.
Yeah.
Like way over his head. Like, bro, please. Like, why y'all trying to force out here? End up paying off. And he's starting to pay off. You know, so anyway.
And think about this, that all came from like week 7 till now, because before week 7 we was thinking, Schwam, please get back. Like, like that only happened, like Jarwin literally got better from like week 16 to like today, till yesterday. So this wasn't like he was doing this all. No, there was a transformation from week 16, that 3 touchdown game. Like, some people just need that breakout moment. You know what I'm saying? Those moments, and they're like, I can play here.
Play confidence. You get them
like that 3 touchdown game did something for him.
Yeah, and that's the truth. And once you get that feeling, like, hey, because I used to feel that in college. When you first go out there and you play in front of 100,000 people for the first time, man, your butterflies are. By the second, third series, with me, it was feel like practice.
Yeah. Think about this, Boss Cowboy. Butterflies with expectations. Because he wasn't out there with the thirds. He was out there with the ones. So not only are you butterflying, but you also have an expectation. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I called he was going to start too.
Yeah. But then, John Bay, it's up to you now, brother.
Got to catch the ball.
You gotta settle down. Because he also dropped 2 big balls doing white scrimmage. So, like, you got to settle down because you got guards who making contested catches, and I'm sorry.
He dropped 1 ball. 1 was out of bounds.
I'm sorry. No, I'm talking about the blue and white game.
I know. I was at the blue and white game. He dropped 1 pass in the middle of the field, and he dropped another ball, an effort ball that was on the – he actually went into the second field, but he just went and tried to go get it.
Okay.
Because at training camp, they go for all the balls. No matter how far it is, they'll go for it.
But see, this is the deal. I can't take away from Cedric Wilson showing up.
Nope.
He showed up.
But he's a second-year pro, too. Remember, that's a second-year pro.
You're right. It's comparing apples and oranges, but at the same time, you're trying to make a roster,
yep.
right? And you don't have Cooper in right now. It's your chance. So, and this is kind of like a test tube of what do you like under pressure, right? So if you see Cedric Wilson normalize under pressure, who trying to also make the squad, and you seeing Devin Smith, nobody even talking about him, making hard contested catches, getting open. If he would hit Mike White with a song, that's a touchdown. I mean,
Schultz would have scored too. I mean, Jarwin should have scored.
Yeah. So if I'm judging the day, man, you still got to make it happen.
Exactly.
You want to talk about this big money before we close out?
Yep. So yeah, we got our last this is our last subject of the night. Which is going to be brought to you by our folks over there at Gridiron Heart, our folks over at the Gridiron Heart All-Star Classic. Remember, if you want to take your child to the premier All-Star game in the United States between the age of 3rd grade to 8th grade, make sure you guys inbox your boy West Coast or go to Gridiron Heart All-Star at yahoo.com. So, hey, man, other guys, so the rookies, man, if you made a mistake, it's good. If you made it, obviously it's not good, but guess what? You get an opportunity to make up those mistakes because in the NFL, you're not going to have 16 great games. A part of being an NFL pro is how do you come back from whatever it is. How do you come back from an interception? How does Zeke come back from fumbling the ball? How does such and such recover from, like, there's always going to be a comeback. So I'm very interested to see what these John Vay's comebacks going to be. And like you said, Boss Cowboy, speaking on these contracts, I definitely believe with Amari Cooper having a heel injury, there's going to be a lot of opportunity for one of these guys to kind of step up. And guess what, man? I think the Dallas Cowboys are looking for a guy that they can use to try to depreciate Amari Cooper the same way they're doing Ezekiel Elliott with Tony Pollard. You know what I'm saying? That's just what the Cowboys do. So somebody is going to get held the guy why Cooper's out. You know what I'm saying? That's just what we do. You know what I'm saying? So I'm very curious to see who gets that towel.
I would like a prediction, man.
Go ahead.
Next league is going to be Cooper turned down an offer.
Huh?
The next league is going to be Cooper also turned down an offer.
Well, Cooper gangster though, because remember they said Cooper said something about his contract, and Cooper came out went out there and on YouTube and was like, he went on an interview, was like, no, I never said that.
Yeah, you know see, Cooper the smartest one out of all of them.
He is, because he's doing a silent holdout. He's doing what Julio's doing.
And that's that's how Zeke should have did it. Zeke should have been my ham. Stuff you can't really prove. Be walking around like
my heel, like your heel, but I still see you walking. Yeah, but it's not good though. You just walked over to me though, but it's not good though. Like you're right, bro. Like he had one of them injuries that you can't be like. You know what I mean? You can't take X-ray somebody's heel and be like his heel's not broken. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you can. Yeah, like my back. Like if I'm Zeke, I wish you would have been here. Like my back, my hamstring. I just can't play.
And you know what, boss? That's actually what I was thinking. Like if I was Zeke, I would have just came to practice and just would have been like, "Yo, I'm not hurt. I don't feel it." Because most of y'all are just mad at the fact that he's not here. Because even if he was here, he wouldn't be playing. He wouldn't have played Sunday.
No.
Like, and he still would have, and they still would have been giving a heavy dose of those other running backs. Like, nothing really would have changed. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Zeke never plays until the third player's preseason game, if he even plays then.
But I want to talk about the 30 million real quick, man. You know I'm gonna be quick with it.
Well, let's go through each one of them. Let's go through each one. Let's give each one of them a fair shot. Let's go through. Let's talk about Dak. Actually, let's finish up Zeke since we're already on Zeke.
Zeke.
When do you think Zeke turn? When do you think we see a Zeke sighting this week?
No.
Me neither. You give me your why, and I'll give you mine afterwards.
Yeah, the reason why we not gonna see it is because you can still tell that Jerry is still trying and Steven trying to play hardball, and it's obviously from what they're leaking out. When you hear them that Pollard can carry and do all of this, they trying to put up a false facade of leverage. So when you trying to put up a false facade of leverage against Pollard, that's why they was hoping he broke so much. They was just hoping one of them runs was 25 yards.
They were.
It was praying because we would have took the candy. We all of the fan base would have took the candy. Who needs it?
Yeah.
We got Pollard. Who needs it? We would just ate all that sugar, right? So the fact that he laid that out there mean that we could be waiting a little while.
And the fact that they pulled him so early lets you know that they were trying to protect him from for him playing average. Like Jerry Jones needed a bullet point from Tony P. You know what I'm saying? He needed a bullet point. And guess what? When they got to the point where they weren't really getting it, they pulled him. Because guess what? My thing is this. You're not going to tell me you played Zeke. Zeke played 2.5 series his first game against Seattle ever as a rookie. And then you're going to protect this guy and only playing 4 snaps? 4? Yeah. And then you took that and made, like, come on, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's, and then my thing with Jerry Jones is, like, Jerry, you got to stop pissing on the guys who are just coming to practice and doing their jobs, man. Like Tony, like my boy Webb Weaver, man. You didn't give him no acknowledgement. He had the biggest play of the game running. Yeah. Darius Jackson had the second biggest, largest play of the game running. You didn't give him no acknowledgement.
Yeah, and our fan base
like none.
Our fan base is riding with the billionaires on this, and I don't get it.
I don't get it either. I'm the same fans that be saying last year, we'll never win with Jerry, but now you believe everything he says, though. Okay.
Yeah, excellent point, West Coast. Like, this is, like, and this is frustrating because, like, if you really, because I couldn't do you like that, West Coast. I couldn't do anybody that's actually listening to the show right now. I couldn't do them the way that Steven and Jerry is doing Zeke. Couldn't do it.
No, you couldn't do me like that. We wouldn't be cool. We wouldn't be cool.
I'm gonna just pick one of my favorite homies real quick, Kerry, out of H-Town. I'm gonna even point my head to the side, Kerry, and I'm gonna try to act like I'm gonna do you like they doing Zeke right now. So, Kerry, I go to you and I say, Kerry, you've been doing good, man. You the best at your job. I mean, you the best. 3-time, leader of the corporation. Matter of fact, over at that other company, they paying that guy $100,000. He's starting talks at $100,000. And you say, okay, boss.
Okay, boss. That sounds good, boss. I love it. Let's do it. I'm gonna give me a check for $100,000. Let's go, boss.
And so then, when it's time for you,
I got the check.
Yeah. Now your performance review comes up, right? Here comes your performance review. I got my hat just like my boy Kerry. So this is for my boy Kerry.
So what? Wait, boss. So what you telling me is? I thought you said I was gonna get $100,000. This is only 75.
Yeah. Oh, no. Okay, no. Oh, this is what happened, West Coast. This is what happened. It's a guy down at the other company called Bell.
Okay.
He out a whole year, but they believed in him to where they paid him $75, and we think that reset the market.
Yeah, but Bell didn't actually work at this company though. I actually worked for this company. Like I actually worked for this company.
Listen. I know I said I was gonna start you at $100,000, but hey, that guy over there got 75.
Say, man, can I ask you a question? Is this about that situation that happened in the parking lot when they said that I had actually bumped somebody with my car, but it was actually proven that the guy actually hit my car?
So what this is about is just money. Like,
is this about that situation where the girl said that I stole the extra coffee out of the locker room, out of the lunchroom, but we actually went on camera and saw that I didn't steal the camera, but you guys still suspended me? Huh?
Obviously not Zeke. This is why. Because we've already been talking about money through all of that. So none of that has anything to do with me enumerating you. It's just the fact that right now we think that we're the Dallas Cowboys and we don't think any of our best players should get market-breaking contracts.
Why would you tell me you're employed? I'm your best. Why would you tell? Oh, can I ask you a question? Because I'm talking to boss right now. Why would you tell me your employee that's been coming to work every day and doing his job and doing it to the best, that you don't feel that any of our employees feel to be paid as well as other people at other companies? Well, why won't I just go work for the other company then? That makes no sense. Why would I work for a company that tells me out the gate that we will never pay you like the best. Why would I want to work here?
Thank you, bro. I'm getting out of role play right now. That's an excellent point, bro. Like, it's the president that they said.
But Kerry said, man, give me my $100,000 like you promised.
Give me my 100,000. Everybody that's acting like they're okay with it would not take it if an employee was doing them like that. They would not take it. If somebody come to you and say, this guy's contract is your starting point, and you got more yards than him, we giving you the ball more than him, you're more valuable than him.
And you've never missed a game. Never missed a game except for when they bench you or when you were suspended for something you didn't do.
Yeah, but then we turn around when it's really time to pay you. Now, we could have settled this in February, March. Y'all decided to wait all the way to training camp to start talks. Who said in the very first meeting when training camp started, we like to do our deals in training camp?
Steven did. That is a huge distraction. You do your deals in the off season. That's why you have the off season, dummy.
Exactly. Now we're using preseason where they supposed to be putting the final touches on preparation. We using it for business.
You want to know why they use it in preseason during training camp? Because there's leverage. There's automatic leverage. Why? Because you have hungry guys who want to make it in the NFL who are playing for almost nothing. That would love to have an opportunity to take your job. When the regular season starts, you can't do that. Why? Because you only got 53 people.
So this is what Jerry and Steven is doing on West Coast. They rolling dice with all the investments they made in the offseason for this season. Yep. You're going to gamble your season over a couple of million here and there. Now, you obviously don't really value that million because it was really $1 million difference between Gurley and Bell, right?
Yep.
You just gave $1 million to Morris, who you cut before. Come on, man. Come on. So you trying to act like this millions you value it so much.
Yeah.
You value the extra million just so much. Now this is a game. And y'all like to play. This is just like trading places when Mortimer was talking to his brother and he said $1. It was about the game. I like this part of the game. I like the part of negotiating with agents. It's not about really what's right now best for the team. Because if it was best for the team, you pay all those guys market value. You make them offers that's above market value right now, and you close it out. And I'm not hearing the reason he's saying. Steven's saying, we got other guys we got to pay. We got other guys we got to pay. Tell me who on this team that's left is worth the value of the triplets together?
Nobody.
And then he dissing them by saying, it's more than three people that make a team. Why are you pissing on your own best players? It's more than just 3 people. Of course we know it's more than 3 people. We know that.
And what he actually says is these players gotta understand. Like, why do they gotta understand? I wish one of these dudes had nuts and would just say what Tank said. No, bruh. No, that's your job to figure out.
Yeah, and this the worst
That's what Tank said. That's your job.
This the worst part, West Coast. West Coast pulled up on this show the cap projections for next year. He pulled it up, y'all. So if we can act stupid, we can act like we're retarded, but no, in the league, we can actually go look at the projected bank account, which makes this whole thing false.
Yep.
And going back to the Kerry example, I don't want to hear about your money problems when I'm seeing millions in your bank account.
Thank you.
I'm not hearing that. I'm not hearing, we don't have the money. We got to pay all these other guys. And then we say, hold on, let me go check the projections on the spot account. Oh, I'm looking at y'all projected to have 90 million. That's more money than y'all had in the last 20 years.
Or not pay Sean Lee, bruh. I mean, what the hell? Move on from Sean Lee. That's $6 million.
Yeah,
like, bro, he's not even available for preseason games. Like, come on.
That's why I'm not buying this whole game of.
But you value Sean Lee so much? He paid.
Exactly. That's why I'm not buying this. We just need that million. That $1 million that's in between Gurley and Bell. We can't move forward without it. We just can't do Zeke with just over that million. And then you go over here and play Sean Lee. Then you go over here and you You know what I mean? And you just save from cutting hers, and you do all this other stuff. You free up money, and then when we was in real cap hell, because we not in cap hell at all. We more so in the pearly gates. We sit in heaven. We drinking tea and cool cats with Jesus right now. We are so far from hell right now. We are so far in heaven when it comes to money right now. It's pathetic. But let's look at the deals that we actually accomplished while we was in real hell. Zach Martin was in hell. T. Smith was when we was in hell. Romo was when we was in hell. Lee was when we was in hell. Dez when we was in hell. We sitting on money, and we don't want to play the next generation of the new triplets.
This is your legacy. This is your legacy, Stephen Jones. This is your legacy.
No, man.
And I don't get it. Like, you're gonna tell me that, like, you have $8 million wrapped up in Sean Lee and Jason Witten right now.
Yeah.
But then you don't want it. But then you can't pay Zeke, Dak, and Amari Cooper. I don't get that.
And listen, man, we talk to an insider. I'm not gonna put nobody out there, but we talked to an insider off the record. Remember West Coast last week? Talked to an insider off the record. It was like, man, a lot of these dudes is on basically who they like.
Yeah.
If they love you, if you the non-live cowboy, and it's not about color. Don't even think it's about color.
It has nothing to do with color.
It's about who they like. It's about who they prefer. It's as simple as that. Some guys they like, some guys they don't. Some guys, and that's why when you're hearing about Taco, you're hearing little stuff like, win, celebrate. And one of the things that they talk about Rico when they let him go, they said, demeanor. See, they be talking about stuff that has nothing to do with football. Like, I don't care if you get up and you're not excited about a sack. I care more about that you got a sack. You know what I mean? Maybe you're not just a person that's just, that's just, like to express a lot of personality. But we say stuff like that when we don't like players. But my bigger point is this. It ain't nobody that's coming up that's worth those three together, period. If you want this team to be dominant, especially since most of your offensive line is paid up
for 2023, the core of what you need is in those three together. Those three. The whole machine breaks down when any one of those three is out. Yeah. We saw what we look at. We saw what we look like without Cooper. We saw what we was like without Dak when we were 4-12 or a quality backup. Or a quality quarterback. We saw what we was like without Zeke. We saw that. But see, y'all paid Tank first. But let's not forget, our pass rush was 31st ranked when we went 13-3.
Yeah.
So the people that y'all prioritized was not priority in terms of the value to this team. The people that's the whole offensive line almost went down last year. Guess what? Triples held it.
You did.
Think about it. Zach Martin wasn't healthy with his knee. Fred was gone, right? And Con Williams was playing like a rookie, right? Leo Collins was having a bad year, and they was giving T. Smith a lot of bad calls.
Yeah.
With all that bad stuff going on, which was supposed to be the heart of our team, which is supposed to be our offensive line, them triplets is the one that had a 7-1 in the last 8 games.
Yeah, Zach Martin missed the game too. He missed his first game, so yeah. That's absolutely true.
Y'all paid without all these headaches. You paid Zach Martin with just 2 days holding out. You paid Fredericks. You paid T. Smith. So you take care of them, but the people that's, the fancy, the pretty, the vehicles, the Ferraris, the quarterbacks, the running backs, now we want to play games. And it's a game, y'all. Listen, $30 million to put out there, Dak turned out $30 million. Listen, nobody talking about the guarantee.
You don't even know what the contract is. It could have been a 1-year deal for $30 million. You don't know.
Like he talking about he turned down $30 million.
Who the hell does he think he is? Like, you don't even know what the contract was.
Listen, this is what Dallas is really doing. Dallas is trying to get the pulse of their fan base. So if we on the wrong side of this, they will keep playing games.
Just like with Zeke. The reason why they keep playing games with Zeke is because we playing games. Thinking out, if Tony Pollard comes in, then guess what? Zeke gonna come crawling back.
Yeah, and this is the way that you really know that they playing games. It's what they say. You got to listen real carefully when they say this. This is what y'all got to understand. It's a lot of money to those guys. What is he saying? They not turning down no real millions. We billionaires. We know y'all don't.
It's a lot of money to those guys.
To those guys. So it's like picture like a bunch of casino chips, and they sitting there holding a bunch of chips. and they taking off a big cut of it, but they sitting there with a lot saying, you go walk away from all of this for this little portion right here. See, that's how they playing that game. And it's like, no, I want that portion too, because that portion is my work.
Yeah, and they're also trying to sell you on the fact that if you continue to do business with the Cowboys, you'll make money in the future. And it's like, that shouldn't be equated to my paycheck. Like, that's if a company tells you, like, yo, we're Home Depot. I know you got Lowe's, but this is what we're gonna do. We're not gonna, Home Depot, we don't pay as good as Lowe's. Why? Because at Home Depot, like, if you work at Home Depot, like, you go to the mall, people look at you, they give you the respect, they give you, no, bro, you get paid off what you actually do.
Right. And there's too many people that got burned with the Dallas Cowboys for them to try to hold.
Thank you.
You don't hold a credibility when you got questionable credibility, right? When people look at how you did Hearns and how you did Dez, don't walk up to me like you should trust me. No.
How you did Tony Romo. Think about how you did Tony Romo. Y'all sat on Tony Romo long enough for a team not to be interested.
Yeah, exactly. Look how you did Tony. When it was time for him to move on to the Texans cleared up cap space to get Romo, right? And at the last minute, they said, we want to trade
for him.
What?
After you agreed, I know that probably pissed Romo off.
Oh, yeah, and so guess what they did to Romo? They left him one dance partner, CBS.
Yep.
And Tony Romo wanted to play, y'all. Think about that. Tony Romo was burning to play. He was like, okay, Dak got me out of here. He cheaper. You know what I mean? That's the business. I understand. I'm going to move on to the Texans. Romo was cut for the first time. I was looking at Romo when he was interviewing. He was in the weight room. I said, man, let him. He was ready to go prove he could play.
Yeah.
And we ran the cock out on him. But we hold out our credibility as a future card.
We ran it out. We're the only team that could have been available was the Denver Broncos. And we all know that John Elway don't like Tony Romo for whatever reason.
And this is the bad time to play these games. This ain't the time to be none of our players getting market value. Most teams trying to build their players' confidence going into the season, we turn down our best over money.
Yeah, and somebody asked me the other day. Somebody told me the other day, but if you give in and you give Zeke his money, do you know what that's gonna do to the NFL? I'm like, what? Everybody's gonna want their money early. You know what I said, boss? Say, bruh, if anybody who has the title the best at what they do, they get exceptions to the rule. That's just how it goes.
And it's so obvious.
If you're the best quarterback in the NFL, then guess what? You can do that. And like, it's funny too because nobody said anything to good. I'm a Christian myself, so I ain't saying it in a negative way. But then nobody said that the good old nice Russell Wilson when he said all nice in the media that look guys, if I don't have a contract before this date, I will not talk about it again. Yeah. So you know what that means? That means next year I'm going to play on my deal and I'm gone.
Mm-hmm. He said it real cool.
He said it with a smile. It was a straight up threat.
Yeah, it was
just like Earl Thomas, a straight up threat.
I'm not going through this with y'all no more.
And you know why he did it? Because he saw what happened with Earl Thomas in that team.
And his first contract, they did him wrong. They gave the defense credit for his success. And the same stuff they do with us. They do that with Dak now. They do it with Zeke now. They say Zeke only good because the offensive line. They say
man, our offensive line ain't been top 10 in a long time. So
exactly. Our offensive line ain't been top 15 in a long time.
In a long time.
And you still hear the national media and somebody in our fan base say, if you give Dak the best offensive line, it's like, no, bro.
They always say if you give Dak that offensive line, or I'm gonna tell you, this is the point I always love, man. You can put anybody behind that offensive line. I say, okay, what is that? Who is that you're talking about?
Yeah.
Name those 5 names.
And then that same offensive line was 4-12.
Well, they gave up 56 sacks last year alone.
We had 4 veteran quarterbacks that was 4-12 in 2015. We just forget history. We just forget. We say anybody can do it, but we had Castle. I mean, we got to name the names. We know who they were. But it's dirty business right now.
And you know who else makes some money that don't also think about? Lyle Collins made some money too. Because, bruh, there's no way we about to throw McGloin out there, Connor out there. No. Lyle Collins just got paid, bruh.
And you know, and I've been looking at our picture.
He got paid.
I didn't want to say nothing about this. I don't want to be the spoiled milk guy, but I'm really looking real close. Cause you know who? Because I look around the league,
Bruh, they were getting stood up.
Now listen to me, y'all, and listen to me, West Coast. I look around the league at my 60 players that I picked that was available for Dallas.
Dude had 2 touchdowns on us. And then Madison had 2 touchdowns. Think about this, boss. 2 of the players we wanted scored 2 touchdowns this game. Madison, Alexander Madison, and Hurd.
And guess who was balling?
Who balled?
Preston Williams.
Oh, I remember him.
We talked about him on the show as a Dak-friendly receiver because everybody we was looking at was big receivers that are red zone targets that are also route runners. And that's why we was calling them Dak-friendly receivers that's super sized. And everybody that we talked about, maybe it's a couple of receivers, even Preston Williams, who also came from Colorado State, you know what I mean? Who played where Gallup came from, but he's 6'4". And he's balling right now.
Yeah.
We'll see what happened. But my whole point of bringing it up is this. You brought up McGowan. I'm still looking at Tristan Hill. And when I look at Tristan Hill, I go look at Seattle, and I'm comparing KD Metcalf.
Tristan Hill's not going to start. I mean, he's not going to start this year.
Yeah. Now, I did see some things in Tristan that I like this game. I saw some pushing power.
I saw some pushing power, too.
I'm comparing, but I'm still going to compare that, right? Another thing I'm comparing. McGowan with Jalen Hurd, who's available, right? And I'm comparing that with Butler, who went to Arizona, right? Those big target receivers, right? And we got a guy who's our 3rd round pick that might not even play. And target weapons. Now Butler was 6'6", y'all.
Yep.
Preston Williams 6'4". Hurd 6'5".
Hurd just stood up and just caught the ball over the dude. He didn't have a chance. 45 didn't have a chance.
So how many people you hearing now say, I never heard of Hurd. I ain't never heard of Hurd. It's like, bro, we was killing. We was on, but it ain't just Hurd. Talking about Hurd and a whole bunch of big target receivers.
My only thing with Tristan Hill, since we kind of brought him up, is I feel like Tristan Hill is a guy who will not, like, Tristan Hill's biggest competition is on this team right now. And I have 3 guys that I think will probably play more than him this year. That's in Kerry Hyder, that's in Antoine Woods, and that's in Malik Collins. Where do you get Tristan Hill on the field?
He go rotate.
But my thing is, bro, Juan Thornhill is starting. And guess what? Not only did they get Juan, but the Chiefs went all in and got the damn Honey Badger. Why did you need the Honey Badger and one? Why did you need both? Boss, they got both of them. Juan Thornhill walks up to Patrick Mahomes as a rookie and tells him, you better not be trying that sidearm crap out here. I posted that in my scout group. I'm like, bro, a rookie is not supposed to walk up to the MVP and tell him that.
Who?
Juan Thornhill at practice walks up to Pat Mahomes in conversation and basically tells him, yo, don't be throwing that sidearm stuff out here in practice. Telling, like, he was talking back and forth to him. And I'm like, bruh, what has he been doing at practice to have the nuts to say that? You get what I'm saying? Wait, boss, but you get what I'm saying, though.
Oh, totally. And so,
what is he doing?
When you see Heath out there, you know what I mean?
Bro, he's starting, man. That's all I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, bro. Jordan, I'm telling y'all right now. And then you still got Tyrone Crawford, bro. If they, this is my problem. And this is my problem that I feel that might happen with Tristan Hill. I do not want to cut Kerry Hyder so that Tristan Hill can develop. That's the same thing we did with the boy with the fast hands.
Yeah, Jihad.
Jihad. We released him so that somebody else could develop, and the dude that developed didn't even play better than him. Jihad Ward had 4.5 sacks in 7 games. and we let him walk.
And was only rotating when he did that.
That's what I'm saying, bro. If we lose 51, who got the pressure, who actually got the pressure to make the quarterback throw the ball up so 57 can get the interception, if we release Kerry Hyder so that Tristan Hill can come along, I'm going to be pissed, bro. We got to keep both of them. That's all I'm saying. But I do not want Tristan Hill's development to be the cause of the reason why we lose a guy who's playing good right now.
But Brian Browder said this, man.
That's my only problem with Hill.
But listen, bro, Brian Browder said this, and I think what he said was true, man. He said this from inside the building. He was talking about this when he was talking about tight end last year, and he was talking about Schultz versus Rico. And he said straight up, he said that about at the fourth game, he said Rico has outplayed Schultz. He said he has. He said, but I'm going to tell you how it works in this building. Draft choices and people that make those decisions are going to protect their pick. So sometimes you'll see people like a Hyder who flash that go right under the water and right under the bridge because of politics.
There's no way he goes under the bridge. There's no way he can go under. Bro, he is balling.
It's the business. And see, because the last time we didn't have an environment like that was Parcells. See, because the last time we tried the good old boss stuff up on the Parcells, he called out. Parcells said, why do you think we have training camp? Why do you think we here? Just see. Mm-hmm. No, we don't run it like that no more. We run it on, we gonna cut Rico now instead of just letting him compete, right? No, he said, no, we here to see regardless of where you drafted. Right?
Yeah.
Georgia Local said he went to Minnesota. Right? He said, because I know this is right. Mike don't care if you're first round, second round, and third round, and undrafted. He don't care about how you play.
Yeah, Roy Williams loved him too. Roy Williams loved him too.
So we don't have that environment, and the Cowboy fans, we got to understand that. We got to understand that there's a stench of politics that's kind of embedded into somebody's decision making. And if we're on the right side of it, we call it out.
Yeah.
But see, what we do is we co-sign this stuff. And that's why West Coast was so agitated talking about Hyder. Because Hyder is showing the flash under the lights.
Yeah, and he's a guy that will probably not make this team. Why? Because we're protecting a draft pick.
And then you know who else might not make this team? Who looking like he's coming on right now?
Who?
Taco.
Yes.
Like, if anybody was watching that game and you
Taco was getting pressure.
And you over here not, because I know a lot of us called him a bust. I want to see him bust. I know it's just preseason one, but I was seeing some good pressure. And then what did Coach say last week when we was talking to him? It starts with your feet.
Yeah.
He wasn't getting caught on blocks. He was moving around blocks. He didn't have one go-to move. You were seeing 2 and 3. He banged the mess out of that quarterback a couple of times. Those type of pressures and hits that add up.
Yeah.
Like so, like, what you wanted to see.
What up with you, Mike?
And if anybody say that Armstrong had a better game than Taco, I'm going to steal my boy West Coast words. I want you to take both hands and double slap yourself, because that did not happen.
Yeah, Armstrong had a bigger play. He had a bigger play, but as you say, consistent game, consistent pressure, Taco was getting there. And on one of those plays, like, Taco caused the quarterback to throw the ball quick 2 times. And I forget, he didn't cause an interception, but I had to rewind it because they don't have the coaches film up. And I'm like, I knew it was Taco because the arm sleeves. And I'm like, this dude, Taco, literally dove like 2 feet. He couldn't get it, so he just dove. And I'm thinking that's the effort they're looking for, Taco. Because your diving at the quarterback changed the play. Like, it totally changed the play because the quarterback got scared and he threw the ball early.
Right.
So it's like, that's that effort stuff that we're looking at. But, like, you know, talking to Taco's personal coach, it let me in on something. And what it also let me in on is this. All these players, some of these players know how to handle politics if they've already gone through it. But if this is your first time ever in a situation where it's legitimately politics, then it takes a minute for you to adapt. When you're used to just being, hey, if I'm better than you, I play. Like, a guy who played at Duke will have a hard time playing for a system that favors someone. You want to know why? Because at Duke, if you're the best player, you're going to play. No matter who you are, you're going to play. You know what I'm saying? But when you go to a system that favors someone, you got to know how to play the politics along with it. That's why you saw last year Taco not playing because of his attitude. Well, maybe he had a problem. I love Randy Gregory. Love him to death. But I'm just saying, when you have a problem, if you was going to practice every single day and you was taking all your drug tests and you was passing them every single day, and then a guy who failed the drug test gets reinstated, and the very next day he's starting over you, even though he ain't been in practice in forever. Ain't even been on the field in a year. And he's now starting over you. Like, I'm just curious, how would you guys handle that? I would hope that we'd handle it better than Taco, but he didn't handle it well.
Yeah.
And the whole thing about the game is the Cowboys expected for him to handle it well. They didn't even give him, like, any leeway. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I'm going to go in here right now. I'm going to tell my daughter that, yo, it's 12 o'clock. You got to get on your Moby Max. You got to practice your math. Guess what? She's not going to take it well. But I'm going to give her a little leeway. Why? Because I know it's summer and it's the last days of summer and she's valuing them days. So I'm going to give her a little leeway. But she still got to get on that Moby Max. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I think happened with Taco. I just think that he did not handle it well. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, man, the politics, man, some of this stuff has to cut out, man, because
some people say, like, right now, they'll say, okay, Randy better. I can see some people saying that, and I can dig that, right?
Yeah, but my boy says, but Randy Gregory is a better than Taco. Yes, he was, but we didn't know that to begin with. We didn't know that game one.
You still don't know that.
You didn't know that game one. We knew that because Randy got an opportunity. You know what I'm saying? But we didn't know that.
He talked to his coach last week that personally trains Taco,
D-Law, Tyrone Crawford, Malik Collins, Antoine Woods.
And I never talked to the guy in my life until that day, right? And I said last year that Gregory took Taco developmental reps. So what we got to get used to looking at is players that got the 9 lives. You got to recognize under our political organization the players with the short leashes.
And that's usually draft picks. That's not even the same Cowboy.
The players that just really have short leashes, and we calling them has-beens and nothings, when really they didn't get the opportunity that the 9 lives players got.
And usually that happens with first-round picks. That's where you see first-round picks getting 9 lives because you paid so much money. You don't see like guys that ain't even drafted. How is Jeff Heath getting 9 lives?
So Anthony Brown got 9 lives.
Jeff Heath got 9 lives.
He got 9 lives. He got 9 lives. So we really looking at year 3 Gregory versus a year 2 Taco. So I'm saying right now, we don't know until we really watch both of them get the equal amount of reps. And then just let it play out. We not seeing that. That's the point. You're not seeing that. So if you're not seeing it, you can't say who's better. You can't.
And think about this: when week 1 of the season came last year, you didn't know if Randy Gregory was a better starter over Taco. They just like think about this, Boss Cowboy. Just like they didn't know if Byron Jones was going to be a better corner than Jordan Lewis. They just did it.
They just did it. Exactly.
They just did it. They just did it.
Like another example would be like Bennett.
Martellus Bennett.
If Martellus Bennett career ended with us, we would have just said he just wasn't good. He didn't develop. Whitney was just better. No, he had to leave, get a better opportunity on a more equal platform, and he became an All-Pro and Super Bowl winner. And a clear one. And was called. Yeah, but let us say it, Whitney was just better. Now Whitney, let's just be honest, Whitney is still, I ain't gonna say now, but throughout his whole career has had the most forced targets to him. He has some forced targets. How can a tight end that's in over 35 still be in the game 90% of the time and Dez Bryant and Cooper in the game 80%? I tell you, any one of y'all go look at the other snap counts of receivers across the league. Look at any one of them. Go look at Thielen, go look at Hopkins, go look at AB. All of them in the game 97% of the time. We take our receivers out
and put Witten and keep Witten in.
Think about that. That's crazy. You in a 3rd and long situation and you still got Witten in the game.
That's the same thing I was doing.
Schultz up there. Schultz right now, we still don't, you know what I mean? Instead of putting Cole out there with Schultz and you got 2 quicks.
Yeah, and you know something else that we were talking about too. This last thing we were talking about, but Jason Witten also takes reps away from the slots because those are plays that they should be running across the middle. Why do you have Jason Witten running across the middle? That should be Ryan Switzer. That should be freaking Tavon Austin. That should be Michael Cobb. Like, why do you have you get what I'm saying? Like, and bro, like when he said that, I was like, wow, I didn't even think about that.
My whole point is, see, like everybody worship Witten so much, there ain't nobody honest about it, and we'll let politics.
He didn't even say the tight ends. He said the slot receivers. He said if I was Cole Beasley, Ryan Switzer, I'd be mad at Jason Witten.
yeah, and it's the truth.
Because that's my area.
That's my and then it's my down the distance. You basically saying like I really do understand a young Witten being in the game 98% of the time, especially before the linebackers became tweeners, right? Where they could actually, most of them was ex-safeties and they can cover now better. Back when Witten was first getting into the game, it was basically an automatic mismatch when Witten was spread out, because if you put a linebacker on them from 14 years ago, most likely that linebacker could kill. But the game has innovated. Now these linebackers is like LVE, ex-safeties. You know what I mean? Safety feet with big linebacker bodies, right? It's not as easy now to win as it used to be. But we still was playing him in our games in 3rd and longs. It didn't make sense.
No
It
sense.
literally made no sense.
No sense.
Done. Now, and nobody said Witten.
Hey, can I say something? Hey, remember when he said this about Cowboy? Go ahead.
Value Witten on 1st down. We value Witten on 2nd down. We value Witten on 3rd and short. I do not value Witten on 3rd and long.
I don't even if you just bring him in just for touchdowns, like red zone. Like, I'm okay with that. But when you throw the ball to him, make sure he's already physically standing in the end zone. That be pissing me off about my offense. Like, bro, why don't we actually do passes like when you get a 1st down? Like, didn't this used to hate when you play football? It's 3rd and 6. So we run a play for 3rd and 4. What? Like, no, throw the ball. If it's a 6-yard, if you need 6 yards to get the 1st down, run a play that gets you 7. Why? So all you gotta do is catch the ball. Like, literally, all you gotta do is catch the ball and you got the 1st down. Don't throw the ball in front of the 1st down so you gotta run. That's dumb. Zone. Let them catch it. That's it.
A lot of people have been asking about articles, and Wall Street articles, where your articles. Look, I've been moving. I had a lot going on. Finished all that now. Y'all finna see a lot of stuff drop. One of them you finna see drop for sure is this thing about Witten, man. Cause I'm sick of it. I'm sick of 90% reps. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it. And I don't want to see it when Cooper getting 80%. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see Dez getting 80%. I don't want your best and most explosive athletes on the bench.
Yeah.
Never. Especially when you see other teams keeping their best athletes on the field.
Yeah. If after that Jarwin
article is pushing out there, we got to be together on this, because everybody always sucking up to Witten and but he's a Hall of Famer. Yeah, he is, but he's not worth being in the game 98% of the time.
Yeah, he should be. Jason should be used sparingly.
Come along, and nobody's saying he's great. We love you. We love you, because we always got to put the disclaimer on. We know you're great. We know you're awesome. We know it. But at some point, you got to kind of pull back.
Yeah.
And we got to give boys that's more explosive the opportunities to grow. Like we seeing Jarwin grow. And one of the worst things West Coast that I heard this whole season was when Jerry was talking about Witten, and he said 3 times with Witten, he said it like he meant it, and he was talking about him getting
off the field,
and he said it like he meant it, and he said
it almost seems like they're scared of Jason Witten. Like out of all, like it almost feels like they're scared of Jason Witten. And can I say this? I'm not gonna put it, but bro, like it's like when talking to people, like I'm gonna say this. I was told that these guys celebrated when Jason Witten got out when he left.
I was told that. Yeah, I heard that too.
We were told by someone who is very close to these players that they were happy when Jason Witten left, and it had nothing to do with him personally. It was just about how the organization viewed him and his abilities. Like these guys thought that there was going to be more reps available for themselves, and these guys want to make plays. And
And they don't because he don't like to get out the game. And then Jerry said this is the worst part. He said, I would have to see it to believe it. So you the owner, you leaving it up to the player to decide when he gonna get out the game.
but nobody else can. Hey, my last thing I want to talk about, my boy Jameis said a really good comment. He said on Dak's first red zone attempt, that play calls Harley only one wide receiver in the red zone. That's exactly, Jameis, I actually wrote this down on my paper last night, and I said, right here. Too many one-on-one wins. Like, too much of our play calling is predicated on one person getting the ball and doing something amazing and great with it. Like, that is not 2019 football. 2019 football is damn near like Madden football. Spread it open and see if everybody can get in the end zone. On that red zone attempt, you had one person going to the end zone. That's horrible. You had a crossing routes. Like, I'm so damn tired of crossing and hooks. I'm so damn tired of crossing routes and hooks. I'm just so tired of it, bro. Like, they're the easiest routes. They're the easiest routes in the world to sit on. Like, I'm so tired of crossing rocks and hooks. That's all we run all game. Like, and everybody said I put this on Jason Garrett. Can I ask you guys a question? I think some of y'all need to let Jason Garrett leave Jason Garrett alone. I'm gonna tell you why. Do you guys honestly think Jason Garrett wants to look bad in a year where his career is on the line, his job is on the line? I think Jason Garrett more on our side than any time. Why? Because he know he need 2-1. He needs good play calling to keep his job. It's a bunch of other people that are going to determine if he keeps his job. You know what I'm saying? So I think this is the closest we can ever be to Jason Garrett. You know what I'm saying? But this is on Stephen Jones and Jason. This is on Stephen Jones and Jerry Jones. To be honest with you, I don't even think they listen to Will McClay when it comes to contract talk, because Will McClay's had too many great ideas and too many great situations that have happened that he's come through for. And I'm sorry, this is personal. And Will McClay, bro, he ain't personal. That's why you see random guys that you ain't never even seen before in your life make this team.
Yep.
Will McClay don't care. Will McClay was a GM of an arena team, bruh. Arena.
And winning championship.
Arena.
But his method was winning championship.
And exactly. So he know what he's doing. So that's what I'm saying. This is 100% on Steven and Jerry.
And see, Pope, this is why I think Jason is probably the better coach somewhere else. Because see, the politics that Jason Garrett has to navigate to be here, he would have full autonomy other places.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He would be able to basically be the GM in other places. Not GM, but you know what I mean? He would have final authority on acquisitions and stuff like that. Like, everything here has to be taste tested by Steven and Jerry. They got to sample the Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
And they have to. And he navigates it. It's a mess on what he deals with. He's sitting over here trying to get a team ready for game one, right? While, like you said, they over here playing hardball with not just the quarterback, but your other top two players too.
And while they're telling you we want to win a Super Bowl this year.
So you got Cooper on the holdout, on a solid holdout instead of what? Getting his reps. What was we saying all last year? This time it's going to be better for Dak because he's going to have an off season with his. What is his holdout doing? Taking out his reps, right? So now Dak, here we go. He working with a committee getting into the season. So if they have a slow start, a lot of us, we gonna blame the players. We ain't gonna look at who actually created the environment. We're not gonna look at them. We gonna say Dak sucked, Cooper sucked. What's wrong with Cooper? Look, he had to hold out for his money, and that was the time they supposed they'd been getting in sync.
Yeah.
What? He started slow. Zeke, instead of being in training camp, he was getting offers into him that was on Bell level with this soul team, and he kept him out in Cowboy.
Hey, boss, can I ask you a question? If they just offered Dak Prescott $30 million yesterday, what did they offer him 2 weeks ago or last week when they said that they had offers on the table that would make them the top 5 in the NFL? Because if they did really offer them top 5 money that would make them top 5 in the NFL, that means technically they would have offered them $30 million last week, 2 weeks ago. So that means that we just caught the organization in another lie. Like, I need to get a sound for it, but we caught them in another lie. And then also think about this: the contract that they offered Zeke would make him a top 7. I thought they said they offered him top 5. Like, do you guys get what they're doing? They're not trying to pay these guys. They're trying to pay them less. Everything that they're doing, like, honestly, like, I'm gonna be honest with you, the Dallas Cowboys are almost waiting for something bad to happen. Like, they're waiting for something bad to happen in their favor so that they can bring these guys down. Like, that's amazing.
Yeah, and it was worse.
Like, we caught them in another lie, bro. Like, it is what we did.
Perfect point. And I would analogize it like this: it's like trying to win games on just deep ball throws. You trying to win games on just Hail Mary passes. What Steven is attempting to do, and I want everybody to think about this, doesn't happen in the league, in the whole league. So when it was time for Matthew Stafford to get paid, they didn't play games with him.
Yep. But y'all talk about the players being divas. No, sounds like our organization's talking more than Zeke. Zeke ain't had one. And it's so crazy. I don't like the way Zeke's handling it. Well, Zeke ain't said nothing on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, or nothing. The only thing Zeke has said in 2 weeks is happy birthday, Dak.
Yeah.
That's it.
Derek Carr didn't get treated like this. Even Kirk Cousins didn't get treated like this. Jimmy Garoppolo didn't get treated like this. I mean, and then, like...
Bro, Ben Roethlisberger got accused of rape twice and just got paid again.
Gurley didn't get treated like this. It wasn't public trashing of your players. They did all of that quietly. They handled their business. They got in a room and they figured it out. It wasn't trying to use the media and the fan base and all that kind of stuff as leverage. They wasn't doing that. And that's what we doing to our players. And then the fans co-sign it by siding with the billionaires. I'm like, oh, man, I don't get it, bro. I just be like, look, bro. Like, look, Gurley got top market, right? A whole bunch of quarterbacks got top market. Even injury-prone Wentz broke a record in total guarantee. If you Dak, how do you take less and you never miss the game? So everybody over there, who does Dak think he is? I tell you who he think he is, better than Carson Wentz.
Yep.
And that's what a lot of people ain't thinking about. Is, oh, who do you think he is? No, don't just think about 30 million. Think about the 30 million in respect to what others have received that you beat, that you swept. You swept Cousins 4 times. You 4-0 on Cousins. You 1-0 on Carr. You 8-3 against all the quarterbacks who broke a record in their contracts. 8-3, bro.
Yeah.
And Zeke, I don't bring up Zeke. Zeke is literally on pace as an all-time running back with missing 7 and 8 games. 8 games after 3 years, and he's still on pace to be all-time in his first 3 years.
Yeah.
And but we tell those players, and don't even count the amount of records broken between Zeke and Dak. Don't do it. Don't do it. But those are the guys that we saying right now, we not gonna give them top market.
Yeah. And you gotta think about the guy who saved your season from 3-8, 3-5. You don't even want to pay him. You even paid him. So I honestly, there's no real litmus test of what's really going on, because they're just screwing each other. They're screwing each person in their own way. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you can't connect them. But
I want us on the right side of it, man. I wish more people listen to this show, because everybody else is kind of feeding into because it's good ratings in it. It's good. If we got on here and we was like, Zeke is a bastard, he's wrong for holding out, we'll probably have 200, 300 people on the show. If we said Zeke, Dak, who does he think he is? He's not worth 30 million. It would be 500 people on the show. It would be 500, because that's what people want to hear. They want to hear lies over truth. That's all they want to hear is Zeke's selfish. So when you start talking about what he's really doing, they tune off. They want to ride with, So that's what everybody's doing. They're catering to the appetite of a hungry, greedy fan base, and we the ones that's being greedy.
Yeah. And I want to ask a question. What if we get to week 1 and they still haven't figured out what Dak's going to do as far as a contract? There you go. Because I'm on this side of the fence, and I'm telling Dak, you are a idiot. I'm going to straight up tell you, Dak Prescott, you are an idiot if you play week 1 without a new contract. You're dumb.
Oh, no. Yeah, super dumb. Super, because it's disrespect to Dak at this point.
If our other other quarterbacks about to get, you about to burn me.
Dak really shouldn't be playing another preseason game.
He not, but you know he is.
And see, everybody's saying that. You know why they're saying that? Because it's so good guy mess he be putting up.
And they worried about their season. They don't care about the individual. You know what I'm saying? Dak is not worth $30 million. Okay, whatever. But Jerry Jones ain't a man of his word either, though. You know what I'm saying? It's funny how Jerry Jones can lie and change the story and just straight up just say one thing in the media and then just say another thing in the media. And nobody said.
He's strong. Pollard can carry the team. He's the engine. We can do everything with Pollard now. Come on, bro.
Like, after 4 snaps, I can dig it.
The starting point, Bill is the new market. It's like, but you saying trust y'all.
Yeah.
And then what's worse, you doing this in the public. Like, you making me look bad. And I love the game. I'm not in Cowboy bullshitting. That's my one cuss word. I'm not in Cowboy playing. I'm working out. I'm coming back ready like I did that Seattle game when I was suspended. But y'all making me sound like I'm around here just don't care about the Cowboys. Y'all did it to Enid. Y'all did it to Dez. You know, it's like, man, come on. Y'all tried to do it with Cooper. Cooper is outrageous what he's asking for. It's like this is like, look, man, we know this is your time to feel like you're really doing something. You know that you like negotiating with agents, man. But say, man, you gambling with your season. This is key preparation. Because what he said about Tank, the best values. Are you gambling with 3 players getting ready to be in the first year of their contract? Why are you gambling with
You saw what happened to Dez when he held out. You can prevent that.
Yeah, when you got these guys not in count, and then you got Cooper. I don't care what nobody say. Cooper's on the low-key holdout.
Yep.
After he got carted off, I don't care what Mike Fisher say.
Fact.
Yeah. After he was carted off, it's something about being in that cart that make you kind of feel like Earl Thomas. I don't care if it's small, where you want to give the organization a middle finger. It's something about being in that cart as you ride into the training room, even if it's something small. That car ride make you think this is a potential multi-million-dollar loss just on this ride.
Yep, and think about this. It was big enough for his agent, who also gets paid when he gets paid, showed up the very next day. So you know what happened? It was at practice, and his agent was like, oh, hell no, I got to get to California. And guess what? Cooper.
See what this good guy bullshit do?
Yeah.
See, that's my second word, no more. But you see what this good guy bull stuff do? You see what it does? You see what it does? You out here being friendly like that? Oh yeah, I'm gonna be out here because it's necessary. I have to be the good guy. I have to be out here working out. I have to be the one that's really, while they playing games with numbers, you out here taking risks. You know, now, I'm not risking. They need to pay me so that we can complete this dynasty run and let's move forward.
Yep. Absolutely. Well, hey, man, we've been on here for 2 hours, man. We appreciate y'all. We just get ready for radio, man. You know how it is. When you're on radio, man, you got to go 2-hour block, 4-hour block. So we getting ourselves mentally prepared for that next era of career that we about to have, man. And we just want to appreciate you guys. Boss Cowboy, let them know where they can find you at, man.
Yeah, man. Everywhere you can find me is going to be on the Boss Cowboy Sports except Twitter. My Twitter handle is actually opposite. It's Cowboy_boss, right? So I just finished a whole lot of areas of stuff that had to do with my business. So I'm actually sitting on a bunch of articles that I'm just getting ready to drop. And then I'm going to start updating and get current. I didn't even do a post-game recap, and y'all know I always do that. So I had to be to not do my post-game preseason recap review. So anyway, that's where you can follow me. Be on the lookout, especially on the Twitter handle, and you will see a lot of stuff getting posted. It's give me the Thursday. I still got a couple of catching up things to do, but by Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, y'all see stuff dropping real hot.
Yeah. Yeah. And hey, man, I appreciate you guys for tuning in. We're going to work on the sound. I already texting producer G. You know it's bad when they be in your show thing. I thought you said producer G was going to get on here and fix that. Well, we're working on that. He's a working man, too. We got it, man. We got you. But hey, I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Appreciate everybody that's been on YouTube, man. We've been rocking. We're going to get this thing straight. I'll probably, until I get the sound straight, I'll probably just be my handy dandy. But until then, you know, shows ain't gonna stop though. I'll be back at camp tomorrow and Wednesday. It'll be the last 2 days in Cali. Then they'll be back in Texas, and we'll have Boss Cowboy out there doing some things too for camp. You know, for the Texas version of camp. But I just want to appreciate you guys. You know, we're gonna get you guys prepared for this Rams game. I'm gonna let you guys know we're gonna talk about a little bit more of this stuff, or maybe till Wednesday. And then Wednesday we'll be done with it, you know, because in a regular season, you know, Wednesday is the start of the new work week. So we'll be on this game until tomorrow, realistically, and then come Wednesday we'll be pushing on to the Rams, because you got Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and we play Saturday. So Wednesday will be our national push day. It's hump day, so that's your national push day, meaning we won't be talking about preseason one after tomorrow, but today and tomorrow will be totally week one these days. And if anything drops between now and then, we will let you guys know. I heard Stephen Jones said a comment or something a couple minutes ago, and he used the word crisis. That's never good. That's all I'm gonna say. That's never good. But he did.
Just get it done.
He did. But hey, man, I don't know, man. It's making it very hard for me to defend defend management. I can defend my team, but I know they want to win it, but it's just very hard. Like, I think they want to win it, but they want to win it at a price. Like, they're not one of those owners that's like, I'll win a Super Bowl at any price. Like, they're definitely not that point. They're not. That's not us.
He don't just want to win. He want to win his way.
His way and at a price. He wants a cheap Super Bowl. That's what he wants. He wants a cheap Super Bowl. It's not gonna work that way.
Can we do this tomorrow, bro? Possible, please, bro?
Oh yeah, we be out here every day.
No, I'm gonna tell you exactly what I want you to put up. I want you to put up the projected amount of cap space we have next year. Can you please do that, please? Because see, this story of us not having the money to pay these future players, we gotta just kill that. I'm sick of it. I hate hearing it. It's pure ignorance. I hear it everywhere. We pay that. We can't pay these defensive players that we got coming. Jalen Smith.
Bro, we're gonna have more. We're at 87 million. I'm gonna just tell you. You ain't gotta tell you. I mean, you can Google it. Google it. Like, some of the stuff we ain't gotta show you. Just Google it.
I know they.
$87 million we're gonna have next year. 87.
I want you to take just one extra step and just have it highlighted, put it in bold. If you could have it blink, West Coast, please have it blink. That 87 million. And just remember, that's without restructures, that's without cuts, that's without all.
Nobody on our team deserves a restructure right now, because that means they're going to be longer. Sean Lee does not need a restructure. Who else? No, I don't want to. We don't want to do no restructures.
And the reason why I brought a restructure, because that's another way to create room.
I know, but I'm saying, if you don't restructure, just let them go.
We sitting on so much cash. And our fans is really like, if we pay say that, and we pay that, we can't pay
Jalen Smith is a restricted free agent next year, so he's not even going to count. LVE is 2 years from now. So it's like, and then think about this. Like, our team, I don't see any position of great, ridiculous need unless we lose one of our best players. So, like, everything is basically like, we're not in a position, like, we're not even going to be in the draft next year like we have to get this. I don't see, unless something shows itself this year, I don't see us being in the draft next year saying we have to get to this, we have to get to that, because Xavier Woods got me thinking he's going to be better. So we might want to replace Jeff Heath, or I don't know, you know what I'm saying? But even then, I don't see that, you know, I just see us upgrading, you know, stuff that we need to upgrade.
And then another thing, we not gonna build through the free agency.
Hell nah. Heck nah. Only week 3 of free agency, you mean? If you're talking about week 3, yes.
Yeah, that's what we gonna do. We gonna go week 2, week 3. We kind of did some week 2s. We were surprised this year. but we not gonna spend no big money. So all the stuff that we act like.
So why do we even need the money though? That's what I'm saying. So why are you saving up the money?
Thank you. Well, we can't pay Jalen. And then they saying it, and they saying they lying to us in our face, man.
Yeah.
And our fan base eat like.
And Buck, can I say something real quick? And you know who's had the most money in salary cap over the last 3 years, but they don't have it no more? The Cleveland Browns.
Right.
You notice that the worst team in the NFL had the most money? You want to know why? Because they weren't spending it. Then guess what? Now they're about 12th. You want to know why? They've been spending the money. And look where the NFL has them projectedly ranked. They have them damn near winning their division.
Yeah.
You know, they spend money. They went and got. I'm very curious to see what Rico Gads is going to do because I have a problem. I have a feeling Rico going to get some playing time over there. Why? Because they have a tight end named Joku who already moves like him. So you know what they're going to say? Hey, Rico's, can you just do a little bit what Njoku do?
Yeah, and they gonna probably use him a lot better to like Baker Mayfield also is very accurate football, so he's gonna be able to put it in spots to where he can high point it. And we'll probably see some good red zone production out of Rico. They can more than likely put in Rico in places he should win, like the red zone, which we don't do. We stopped doing that the Jazz game, and we never even experimented again. Like the people that we supposed to be developing, we never developed. And we just say he never worked out. No, we never gave him a chance. You don't give somebody 7 targets and say they didn't work out.
In a season. In a season.
Targets in a season.
7 in a season. 7 targets in a season. And he played 16 games, and you gave him 7 targets.
Give him a chance.
7 targets.
So he's a basketball player. He ain't developed. Like that. I'm just like I was praying for Dez to go off. Because, see, it needs to be a spotlight shown on the politics of Dallas.
Yep.
The best way to do it is for the people that we grossly bet against to go somewhere else and ball. And it got to be so big that even the most dumb Cowboy fans say, "Oh, we messed that up." But see, but this is what it messes up. But we'll say stupid stuff like, "We got Witten and we got Joe, and so the hill with Rico." But see. It's not even just about them two. Remember, it's about Schultz.
Yeah.
It's like, would you would have had a 3 best or 2 real good and one that could take your season and get your quarterback back broken?
Yeah, I mean, I would let Schultz walk to keep somebody on that defensive line. Like if it comes down to if Kerry Hyder comes on the chopping block, Schultz, you got to go. You got to go.
And we're not going to do it because we're not going into the season with just 2 tight ends.
But Kerry Hyder better not get cut. That's all I'm saying. He better not get cut. You know what I'm saying? But, hey, man, y'all know what it is, man. We've been on here 2 hours, man, getting this thing ready for radio, man. 2 hours and 30 minutes now. Getting this thing ready for radio. So when we get it started, make sure y'all listen. Make sure y'all tune in, man. You guys already know what it is, man. You can find me here at Dallas Cowboy Scouting. By the way, my name is West Coast Cowboy. You guys already know what it is, man. You can follow me on YouTube. A lot of you guys already follow me on YouTube at West Coast Cowboy. I appreciate you guys. Also, remember, this show and all shows are sponsored by Cowboys Experience. Appreciate you, Uncle B, for the love. Hey, on that note, man, you guys already know. Never look down because the stars up. Peace.
The Dallas Cowboys season is only a few months from kicking off. But this year, let's do things a little different. Instead of just watching games at home or just going to a game, let's actually experience our Dallas Cowboys, just like West Coast does. Cowboys Experience is my one-stop shop for all my Cowboys game day weekends. Their packages are all inclusive, including 2 nights, hotel